let's take it from the top. I rocks, my swerve on, floor pure rocks. In the six drop, bull, and it don't stop. See money looking alright, yeah. What up? I cross the room, throwing signals, I'm throwing them back. Flirting, cause I digs you like that. Pete baby boy style, hoping we match. He sent me crown royale with a note attached. He said you look like the type that know what you like. I could tell by the jewels you go for the ice. Plus you wear shoes well, the suit flows nice. I don't like the notes too well, let's be more precise. Meet me by the VIP, let's powwow. Whisper in my ear like blue, let's bounce now. About to say peace to my mans for you. When it's all said and done, I got plans for you. He said, did you home with me? Tonight. Come on. At the bar, high post, frontin', I toast. Getting my flirt on, player, ain't nothing. You ain't trying to say the right words to get us out of here. Jackpot when he said it's bullshit in here. And on his necklace, my whole body telling me exit. Breast said yes, give me more wet kisses. Twist my body like the exorcist. Hey, the way he lit his lips, he was macking. Truth of passion. I'm like, slow down before you crashing. Never mind him, he ain't thinking about you or the way we sex. On the villa up in Malibu, marry who? Daddy, please, I'm taking it all from the stash to the keys. So let me see, but I'm about to get my mans for you. When it's all said and done, I got plans for you. He said, I need you right in my life. Gotta get you home with me tonight. Gotta get you home with me tonight. Baby, I need you home with me tonight. Grabbed me by the hand and led the way outside of the club, talking the valet. Mine started to stray, million miles away, contemplating going back to his crib to parlay. Jumped in the passenger seat, relaxed my feet as he threw on Black Street casually, and we cruised the metro on premium petrol. I sized up my thighs and couldn't let go. Top broken, you're making me high like Tony. Broke me, take me, I'm high. I thought for a second and then my mind went. Sex all around the car, isn't it ironic? Back to reality, the soul to soul. Breathe in heaven.
Girl, listen. When I be sitting at home all by myself now, I be saying, damn, I had a good girl. You know, you don't even realize how hard it is to find somebody like you till they gone, you know what I mean? If you'll let me just come back in your life, I'll never do it again. I promise.
Down at the studio trying to lay tracks. Girl at home all over my back. Every time I say that's what I'm doing, she just think it's an excuse. Cause I'm out trying to get some new snatch. Now I realize that I work too hard to keep her in my life. I done came too far. Need to turn around, girl. Ain't none of that going down, girl. So believe me when I say I've been wrong, but I'm trying to live right. Fix it right, I promise. Girl, I promise. These streets, I promise. Promise to be the M.I.G. You can get at me. Themselves and even my heat. Promise, they gotta worry about me. Girl, just believe
I promise, baby. I'm gonna be the best man I don't even know how to be. I promise. No more Monday nights at the Gentleman's Club. It's all about you.
Believe I really meant it when I said I left that. Yeah. She mess in the streets and I'm not about that. Yeah. Said that I'ma be there. Ain't no maybe you gon' see that I'ma be there. Whenever just cause you're my lady, I'ma show you just what you deserve. Show you ain't getting no more for your turn. Say you want a rider, and I can be that and much more like a provider. And I want you to know I love you, yeah. I've been wrong, but I'm trying to. Girl, I do right now, yeah. Promise, girl, I promise you, baby. These streets, I promise you, whatever you have, yeah. Girl, you can get me, baby. Promise you ain't gotta worry about me no more, no more, no.
Girl, I promise you love. I promise I never would leave you. I promise long as you love me, I could never deceive you. I promise you this, promise you that. Whatever you want, long as I got it, ain't no problem with that. You my ebony queen.
Don't say a word. Just come over here. I got something I gotta do tonight.
Ain't never been a man on anything much as I want you. Sun don't come up till the morning, so tonight there's no excuse. Shines like the rain outside, I'll make your love come down. So baby, now it's time. Just can't wait no more. I'm gonna give you what your body's been crying for. And if you tell me yes, I'll lay it down. Girl, we ain't gotta rush, just play around. We'll do it like we never done before. So go and lock that door. Baby, don't worry, cause I'll be gentle. Let's get naked. Come on. Come on, baby girl, you know I just can't take it. I can't take it no more. Let your hands hit the floor. Let your body steal the show right now. You seem like you're ready, so come on. Girl, I just can't wait to see us naked. I know you want this, girl, I see it in your eyes. Don't be ashamed of what you got between those thighs. You know I'm gonna try not to be so excited, but I can't help it, feels so good to be invited. So baby, get ready, cause here I go. Take off your shoes on, see them toes. Step out that skirt and that shirt gotta go. Come off in drawers, girl, you won't be leaving me. Now you're wearing what I like, baby, let's go. Baby, turn your lights out, let's get naked. Baby girl, you know I just can't take it. I can't take it no more. Hands at the floor. Let your body steal the show right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what this is. Yeah, I wanna fuss with us. Across that board, we burn it up. And all I ask for you to do is turn it up.
Yo, exclusive ones on my feet, Dickie shorts with the crease. Even if you from the streets, music suit the savage beast. Nothing like making love in the shower, in the tub, in the car, in the truck. That's when you turn it up. Me and you and me, all night in the suite. 9 to 4, 10 to 3. Lot of liquor, plenty trees. Back scratching, head grabbing, toes curl. Both girl, it's your world, so thorough. Matter of fact, you go, girl, non-stop. Get it in, take a breather, hit again. Best part of this whole thing, we every bit of friends. That's what make it better, though. Think it make you wetter, though. But that's in God's hands, something we'll never know. And you gotta give it to me, cause I'm kinda clever, though. And I speak my mind all the time, it's whatever, yo. But you done learned enough, and I gotta burn it up. And all I ask for you to do is just turn it up.
Saturday night off in Katana, all these girls dressed in Gabbana, spotted I never seen. Did you come alone? It's so lovely just to see you, even lovelier to meet you. Won't you let me buy you drink? What you sipping on? Now baby, I'll be honest, when I first saw you, I couldn't help but think about what you were like in bed. I ain't trying to sweat you, I know that I just met you. But would you agree if I said we need to be alone? My car is right outside.
And it ain't too far of a drive over to my place. I know all the right songs to play, cause I tell you it ain't nothing like making all kind of love to some music. Turn the music up, it's up high, put your new love into that music. Turn the music up. So if you love that Maxwell, turn it up, turn it up. Power pass and go to sleep, turn it up. Up and grind the arcade, turn it up, turn it up. All you gotta do is
let me do you all night long. Hey, wanna do it all night long. Baby, I got something that you're trying to feel. You the only one I'm only getting it. I'ma turn the music up and let it play. And we gon' do it to a little Jodeci. Baby, baby, I've been thinking about you crazy, crazy, crazy. Baby, baby, I'm impatient, tell me why you got me waiting. You better make it worth my time, cause I got something sexy on. Alcohol in my cup, I don't want another text, no. Time for you to pull up, hope you didn't think that I'd forget about the way you ran them lips. You've been talking real big shit, so I'ma hold you to it. You said you wanna do it in your freaking world, well, then I gotta see. And you said you wanna kiss me every freaking word, well, then I gotta see. That you gon' have to show me, baby. You gon' have to show me, baby. You gon' have to show me, baby. And I'll turn on this Jodeci. Oh, come on, baby. Let's turn up on some freaking Jodeci. Baby, baby, when you get here, I'll be standing in the doorway. I know you love this, but you see it, baby, baby. I'll be ready by the sun that's coming your way. It's gonna be a ton away in these sheets. Time to sink or swim now, baby. Every moment counts. Yeah, you gotta show.
I gotta go, I can't stay. Said things would change, now things are still the same. Girl, I gotta go, I can't stay. We stay together, putting the front on. I'd rather be on my own. When we first met, things were fine. We went out to dine. We strolled the beach, holding hands, sharing quality time. What happened between then and now? The love we shared was lost somehow. My friends trying to tell me that we're moving too fast. But how could I know the feelings would pass? It wouldn't last. I know I should have left a long time ago, but I stayed to see, hoping and praying you still love me. Girl, I gotta go, I can't stay. Said things would change, but girl, things are still.
What is it?
Hey, what's up?
Is that you, Jeff?
Who do you think it is?
Oh, hi, baby. When'd you get back?
Got back just now.
I missed you.
Yeah? Do you?
Yeah, won't
don't you come up and let me show you how much?
You know the flavor. Buzz me up, baby.
If you
Let me come inside. I'll keep you satisfied tonight. If you want me, if you need me, turn out all the lights. I'll make you feel alright tonight. Come on, come inside. I'm thinking about you. The last time we met.
Y'all know and the big It's 3 minutes. Bring your topic.
Touchdown bar. Shrimp years old, 30 games, 4 years old, it ain't more same price every kilo. I'm a boss, you come on my beat and I got the same kind of good like T.I. Get that racing T.I. Real dog boy, so you know I trouble is I. Mama is I. Like Carol, I believe I can feel that. Yeah. I'll see you later. Here goes. All my haters, got your woman, dog, or I'll take her. You'll hear a scream from College Park to Decatur. I was a snotty nose with no paper. Now my crib sitting on 22 acres. Get it right, fool. I get money. If you think Luda's not filthy, you's a dummy. I was allergic to the roof on the cutty, so I took the top off like a Playboy bunny. Catch me pimping in a robe and some slippers, riding down 85 while I'm stunting on my Gixxer. Mouth full of twisters, or riding with your sister, and 6 David Beckhams or a trunk full of kickers. Take a picture of the mister, it'll last long, and these haters get stretched out like a bad thong. So partner mash on, or get mashed up. Thank you for Luda and put $1 million of your cash up. Hello, they know, hello, they know, hello, they know. I'm in my cool whip, inside cello. I'm about that pretty mother like hello, ladies, how you doing? And crazy girls, don't say nothing to them. They know, got white, low, raw blue, say what? Hello, they know, I give a fuck about them haters. Young Jizzle, been getting paper. Red wheels on the lifesavers. Hit the club with 20 bars like flavor. I'm on the top floor, no neighbors. Who you kidding? I get my 87s tailored. Went from 2 asses to a Maserati.
Baby, the sound of you better than a harmony, yeah. I want you off my mind and on me, holding me closer than we've ever been before. This ain't a dream, you're here with me. Boy, it don't get no better than you. For you, I wanna take my time all night, baby. You should let me give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and protection. Make me your selection. Show you the way love's supposed to be. I wanna love you in every kind of way. I wanna please you, no matter how long it takes. If the world should end tomorrow, then we only have today. I wanna love you in every kind of way.
What up, man? What's happening? How y'all doing? How is everybody tonight? Thought I'd go live because Friday I got some business to take care of, and I can't go live Friday. Tomorrow I got some business to take care of, so I can't go live in the morning. So I figured, what the hell, man? Let me go ahead and knock it out tonight. But I figured I'd at least go live, try to before they done took my channel. They'll take your channel. They took my boy channel, making conservatism look cool. Malik, they took his channel. So I was gonna do an interview with him. I'm gonna hit him up. Anyway, I want to come up here today and talk about the subject of this video, which you guys see is patriarchy. Patriarchy, right? First of all, before we get started, right? What is patriarchy? Is it evil? Is patriarchy, because when women and when a lot of, not just women, but when a lot of Marxists hear the word patriarchy, what they see and what they hear is, this is what y'all hear right here. This is it right here. This is patriarchy. This is how they think patriarchy is right here. I'm gonna play a song. This puts it into words. They think this is patriarchy. When they hear patriarchy, this is what it is right here. Y'all like, what is this? What is this weird? Just listen.
Between the time when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of. And unto this, Conan, destined to bear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. It is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of his saga.
You hear the testosterone already building, right? Your test levels are already doubled.
Let me tell you of the days.
High adventure. Let's go.
Of high adventure.
Like, what is he talking about, man? Look, Conan the Barbarian. If you remember, what did he say? I forget the saying that they used to say. I love Conan, man. You listen, you gotta love Conan. Remember how it come on and they making the sword and they melting it down? It's the age of iron, right? The age of iron, right? Okay, what you say? One of the things I noticed, and this is just true. If you take a bunch of men and you lock them up, not in prison, but just even in prison, you can kind of see this effect. You ever notice how when dudes come out of prison, they just built, they big and ripped and strong. A lot of them ain't got no weights. They just doing straight push-ups. They ain't getting no supplements worth nothing. These dudes come out chiseled, big, strong. There is something mentally about when you take a man and you put him around a bunch of other men, it wakes some up in him, right? Most men I've ever met in my life are like this, right? And you could take the smallest dude, but you put him in a situation. And what I love about Conan, he's a little boy, and they killed his mama, James Earl Jones. They killed his dad, all that. They showed up, they killed his family. Then they took him, threw him into slavery. And remember, when they threw him, they had him on the thing, and he was a little boy trying to push the little thing, the little grinder or whatever it was. He was pushing it. Then they showed how big and strong he got. Remember? Then they just threw him in the cage, and he had to just fight. He became a good warrior, right? And so I kind of like that theme because it really kind of centers on what patriarchy is in a sense. And I know that's, man, what is it? Just men just being strong and powerful? Yes and no, right? Let's look at the definition of patriarchy first, because I know people got a problem with that, right? Let's go there, right? Patriarchy, a system of government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family and descent is traced on the male line. That's patriarchy. That's it. That's simple. A society organized on patriarchal lines, a patriarchy, right? Now, women don't like that definition, so you got all these liberals that have been changing definitions of what patriarchy is. Patriarchy is supposed to be so oppressive to women, right? One of the problems I have with this whole idea of patriarchy being oppressive to women is they took surveys of women in the 1950s, and they take surveys of women today. The women today are not happy, whereas the women in the 1950s were a lot happier, being wives, raising their kids, right? Men working sun up to sundown to feed their families, coming home, right? He's the head of the household, right? And that's evil to a lot of people. And this is the real crux of the matter right here. The problem I have with people having a problem with patriarchy. This is the problem I have. When you have a problem with patriarchy, you have a problem with Western civilization. Not only do you have a problem with Western civilization, you have a problem with Christendom and AKA Western civilization, right? You have a problem with male leadership. Now, we have thousands of years of history as a frame of reference as to how societies succeed with male leadership. And when the roles are reversed, those societies crumble. If you go back and look at the Roman Empire, the same problems that we're having today are the same problems that happened in the Roman Empire. When you had women coming up in certain roles and role reversal, what wound up happening? A society of weak men cannot stand. A society based on men that want women to be equal, and I'm going to just say it, is weak. It is weak. Egalitarian, as you call it, is weak. It's a weak society. And when you compete against other societies and other cultures and civilizations, you will fall. You'll fall. Grabbing women and throwing them out on the battlefield. In an egalitarian society, women are out on the battlefield. Do women need to be out on the battlefield? No. They're not built for it. Men, yes, men have psychological problems, so they get shell shocked. It's a lot of things that society has taught us. We don't bring our men up to be warriors. So then you take a guy at 20-some years old and drop him out on the battlefield, he's shell shocked, right? Historically, we would train our men from birth. Listen to me now, to be warriors. This is history, right? Historically, our men were soldiers. And let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show you.
When the boy was born, like old Spartans, he was inspected. If he'd been small or puny, or sickly or misshapen, he would have been discarded. From the time he could stand, he was baptized in the fire of combat. Taught never to retreat, never to surrender, taught that death on the battlefield in service to Sparta was the greatest glory he could achieve in his life.
Look here, man. If you run up on a warrior who's been taught that the greatest honor he can have in life is to die fighting for his, come on, bro. Taught to never to surrender since he was a kid. That you got to understand. Let me explain something to you about depression. Depression, a lot of times people are not have issues with depression and stuff like that. And then they'll have a situation that'll happen that's traumatic and they'll have depression. They'll be depressed the rest of their life. They'll have depression. They'll have to get on medication. I've seen it. A lot of times you'll see young people, they'll have a traumatic experience and they'll have depression the rest of their life. Nobody in their family struggles with depression, but then they'll have a situation where it might be traumatic. Somebody might, mess with them that way, take something from them. They never the same. They depressed, right? I just started watching Snowfall again. I hadn't watched Snowfall in a while. I went ahead and watched it. I'm starting on like season 2, right? But remember in season 1, the dude got R-worded by the other dude, right? And when he got R-worded, dude just wasn't the same. He just lost it. Remember his homeboy was like, man, I don't know what happened with him, man. He ain't been the same, man. I don't know what y'all did to him. The dude got mad. He took something from him. That rewired his brain. The dude just went on a killing spree, trying to kill everybody. And they had to kill him at the end. Season 1. That was the last episode. But it was a trip because I would imagine that would be very traumatic for the average dude. That'll mess a dude up. And it did. It messed him up. And he wound up being mentally. And so when it comes to depression, different stuff like that, when we would raise people, and the reason I'm talking about the mind and how powerful the mind is, the mind has a tendency, if it has been prepared, if it has the tools, you won't have that depression. Right? If you have a way of defending and fighting off certain traumatic situations, then you won't have that depression. But a lot of times when you don't have those tools, the mind responds. It's almost like a protection mechanism. It just is. That's the way the mind works. We don't understand the mind. We don't understand everything about the mind, right? If you raise a kid to be a soldier from the time he a little boy, and if you watch the movie 300, watch how rough they was on him. They was rough on him, right? And then that's what wound up making King Leonidas. Let me let this play.
At age 7, as is customary in Sparta, the boy was taken from his mother and plunged into a world of violence. Manufactured by 300 years of Spartan warrior society to create the finest soldiers the world has ever known. The Agoge, as it's called, forces the boy to fight, starves them, forces them to steal, and if necessary, to kill. By rod and lash, the boy was punished, taught to show no pain, no mercy, constantly tested, tossed into the wild, left to pit his wits and will against nature's fury. It was his initiation, his time in the wild, for he would return to his people a Spartan, or not at all. The wolf begins to circle the boy. Claws of black steel, fur as dark night, eyes glowing red, jewels from the pit of hell itself. The giant wolf savoring the scent of the meal to come. It's not fear that grips him, only a heightened sense of things. The cold air in his lungs. Wind-swept pines moving against the coming night. His hands are steady. He's full. Perfect.
That's it, man. That's it. Y'all know the rest. Y'all know the rest. And so I wanted to come up here tonight because I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about the points of a civilization and why patriarchy is important. And when I see people, and particularly men, that don't understand the importance of patriarchy, it's over for Western civilization, and particularly the Black community, right? When you see Black men and when you see men that are trying to make a case as to why patriarchy shouldn't exist and we need to stop having patriarchy, that's a problem. That's a problem. So CJ has something to say, did a video about patriarchy. And I've been kind of wanting to do this video anyway, so this kind of made me go ahead and do it tonight because I was talking about the importance of patriarchy. And this is the thing. A lot of people don't understand. It's just the truth. Many people do not understand the importance of men. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men as well. When a man doesn't understand his role, then you're going to have a wayward, lost society ran and dominated by women. That's what you're going to have. And you should have that. That's not even, I don't even think it's, I don't think it's something that's just like, oh man, it's messed up. It is messed up, but that's what's supposed to happen. You know, I got some bullet points I'm gonna go through for this, but I want to play this because this is part of the problem right here. When you have men that refuse to act in their role, and when I say act in your role, I'm not talking about just receive the benefits of your role, but also accept the responsibilities of your role. And when I say responsibility, I'm not talking about the blame for every dusty failure, some dusty Pookie and Ray Ray nigga, or dare I say, not even a Pookie and Ray Ray, educated nigga, whatever, right? Every failure and shortcoming of our society, you don't have to take the blame for it. You shouldn't. But what I do think is when you talk about, you need to take a responsibility. Now, when I talk about responsibility, I'm talking about the responsibility of your home, your house. Keep your house in order. If you're not doing that as a man, then that's your fault. Watch what this dude say. And this is the problem right here. This is the problem. You got more and more people. When you got men talking like this brother right here, your society's doomed. Because men being derelict of their duties and not understanding. This dude is literally finna talk about we need to destroy patriarchy. Watch this.
I think we got to make patriarchy look not attractive.
Yes.
I think that right now our community is experiencing a red pill pipeline, a conservative alt-right pipeline that's really, really appealing to a lot of young Black boys.
Yeah.
And I think that because they catching these, you know what I'm saying, boys, say 12, 13, 14, patriarchy and misogyny and sexism.
See, he took misogyny and sexism and made it into patriarchy and lassoed it in with patriarchy. Neither one of those have anything to do with patriarchy. I just gave you the definition of patriarchy. It's male leadership of a society. That's it. If you have good men that lead, guess what? You have a strong, happy family structure and the women are happy. So this whole idea of male patriarchy being synonymous with misogyny, right? Which is basically like abuse of women, period, or sexism. Just because you're a woman, X, you're not as smart. Just because you're a woman, you whatever, fill in the blank. There are certain things that women bring to the table that get lassoed in as sexism. That if you're a woman and I expect your ass to get out there and wrestle with a dude and come across an offensive line and get a sack on a quarterback, that's not sexism. It's called biology. That's what it is. It's biology, right? There are certain things that women can't do, and they can't do as effectively as men. It's just, and that's the way God made it. It just is. That's not tearing down women. That's just the way society works. Men are built to take more. Abuse, when I say abuse, I know that sounds very counterintuitive, but you'll get what I mean. When I say abuse, I mean physical abuse, like going out and like if a burglar breaks into the house, right? You sling a man across the table, he fall, he gonna be able to get up a lot faster. He gonna be able to go up and tackle that dude and be able to wrestle with him a lot better than a woman. You sling a woman across the room and bang her ass into the wall hard as you can, women gonna probably be out down for the count because they gonna feel the strength of that man. It'll be like, man, but an average dude benching north of 200 and some odd pounds, that's just a dude that is barely in the weight room. Dude don't even work out probably benching 200 pounds. So he's way stronger, right? Most women they struggling with 100. The biggest women, take them in. You ever seen a woman walk in a gym and try to get on a bench? Yes, you have some women benching 300. Okay, we've seen them. Those are freaks of nature. 9 times out of 10, dare I say 99.999 times out of 100, a woman walks in there, she gonna struggle with 135. Struggle. She ain't gonna struggle. She gonna probably not. I'm talking about the women that you think are strong, that you would think she look like she is strong. You know, she look like she put her ass up under 135. She's struggling to get it off her chest. She's gonna struggle. That's biology. A dude laughing, he talking, having a running conversation, pumping out 40 reps if he have to. Right? With 135, that's nothing. He having a running conversation. The only time you see girls being able to compete, or women, is really when they before puberty. I've seen girls, I went to school and I've seen girls getting fights with dudes and sling them all over the place and beat them up. By the time we got to 12th grade, that same girl wouldn't dare touch that dude. That dude beat the brakes off her. He'll know it. That's why he won't touch her. Because he's like, man, girl, gone. Every once in a while, you get that girl that thought she was tough enough, and the dude will catch her and hit her ass one good time, and the fight is over. And now she crying. You know what I'm saying? I respect women that tried that. And I tried that one time. And one thing I respect is a woman that understands, okay, he's a man. I need to step back. He's a man. I can't run up on him and throw hands with him like I could when we was in the 5th grade. I forget who this girl was. She said, man, I tried it with my cousins one time. We used to fight. I remember I used to fight. I would try to fight my sister, but my sister was older, stronger, because I was a little weak, little flat-chested, bird-chested little kid, right? Skinny arms. She would just sling me all over the place because she was older. Then I got to about 5th, 6th grade. I started getting stronger just because that was nature. And my dad got on to me because I started fighting her back one time and slung her, hit her real hard one time. I was hitting her because she was stronger than me. And I hit her one time. I guess I hit her a little too hard. She starts crying, and dad, boy, he put the fear of God in me. You know how dad gonna do, right? And I never touched her after that. We stopped fighting because I started realizing I can't hit her. She is a girl. I used to do that with my cousin, female cousin. She was strong as hell. When we was in elementary, she was strong. We was little kids. Then I started getting stronger. And I remember one time I was wrestling with her. We used to wrestle. And she would always run up on me and grab me. Little tomboy. And we in like the 4th grade, 5th grade. And I just grabbed and pushed her. We was at our grandparents' house. I pushed up, and I didn't think I thought she was going to give more of a push, but I didn't know I had gotten so strong compared to her. And I pushed up against the wall, and she bumped her head, started crying, ass whipping. That's when I realized, like, dang, you can't be like that. Women are a little bit more, so you can't be like that. You do have those freaks of nature situations where there's this one woman, she caught this dude and whooped him. I forget this. I saw a video of this dude, little small dude, fighting a girl in the gas station. Okay, that was it. But even still, you know what I'm saying? She barely got the best of it. She got the best of him, but she barely did it. And this is a dude that's a little small. Like this dude would, if he just was a little bit stronger, he would have got her, even though she probably outweighed him by 40, 50 pounds. right? And the point I'm trying to make is this. There are differences between the sexes. Those differences are what makes the society work, right? Men went up. Have you seen footage of men building the Empire State Building? I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go find another video. I want to show y'all what men were able to do, because there's always this talk like, oh well, you know, men of this, men of that, you know. Now let's get it. So, you know, Empire State Building process. I want y'all to see this, right? I'm just gonna go over here. Let me stop this one right quick. Let me show y'all. And y'all know this. Y'all, this ain't nothing new. This is real stuff. This ain't no AI. Dudes actually
The Empire State Building set a new record, rising 100 floors in just 13 and
look at this dude, man. He ain't got no harness on or nothing. Look at him.
a half months during the
Where
Great
he gonna get down? What is he doing? Look at him.
Depression. Builders used innovative logistics like many rail systems
Look at this, bro. Look at this. This is, look at this. Look at this. Look at this one here. Look at this.
I can hear a melody coming over from above. I can hear a voice calling me.
Dudes died fight building this stuff, man. Died. I'm sure some people fell off. Everything you see, this just the Empire State Building. What about the Golden Gate Bridge? Everything you see, dudes was out here risking their lives building this stuff. So when I hear people talk like, oh, you know, we got to get rid of patriarchy, use a weak simp. You a simp, bro. That is the most simp thing you can do, is refuse. That's like, because to me, when I hear tearing down patriarchy, what I hear is, if a burglar break in a house, it's a flip of the coin as to who gonna go down and fight the burglar. That's the mentality of men that refuse to take the reins and do what the hell they supposed to do. You weak to me. You're a weak man. And so that's what I hear with this dude. If I'm a woman, and it's just, not to get sexual, but if I'm a woman, I'm not wanting to be with a man that talks like that. Right? A man like this is not, we need to tear down. This works with those hotep weed smoking bohemian chicks that believe that the black woman is God, right? That's the only, this nigga trying to get some ass from a woman. Listen to this nigga, man.
I think we got to make patriarchy look not attractive. Yes. I think that right now our community is experiencing a red pill pipeline, a conservative alt-right pipeline that's really, really appealing to a lot of young black boys.
Yeah. They think the opposite of, they think that patriarchy means red pill. And it doesn't. It doesn't. Those are two different things. We have to understand and establish the definitions of words before we have niggas out here just running their mouth. You done lassoed in a bunch of stuff with red pill and misogyny and sexism and patriarchy. Those are four different words that have meaning. They do. And I'm going to get to it. I got some bullet points on this, but the point I'm trying to make is, when you have men like this is indicative as to why the black community is in shambles. This is your man. These are your men. These are the types of guys that young boys are looking up to. You see, I know you like, well, no, they ain't necessarily. Yeah, this dude's not necessarily online, but this dude is around somebody. This guy might have kids. He might have a son. What type of worldview is he? What type of mentality is he instilling in a son? Is this man a good man to procreate with? No. This is a man who needs to die off. His gene pool needs to die off. He needs to die and be taken from the gene pool. Not literally killed, but just in the sense of grow old and die. He does not, no woman should want to lay down with a man like this, because he's bending over backwards to try to give women, well, you see, the woman, we're equal. You still a simp. It don't matter. I know you like sub. Yes. You a simp, nigga. You don't want to stand up and be a man. You a simp. Because that's what it sounds like to me. He doesn't want to stand up and be a man. He's scared. He don't want to be a man. He don't. Being a man may be a thankless job oftentimes. You may not get what you think you deserve. Right? Them dudes that built the Empire State Building, we don't know none of their names. Think about it. You gonna know my name if I get up and I'm standing on the edge of a damn. If I'm standing up there with nothing, no harness, oh, you gonna know my name. I ain't going back up there. I'm not doing that. What you paying? Well, how much you know how many millions you got to pay me for? You got to pay me. I mean, bro, you got to pay me like an NBA player. And I'm not talking about no done league minimum. You got to pay me like James Harden. You got to pay me that kind of money. You got to pay me LeBron James, Steph Curry type money. I need a max deal type situation. And even still, I'm only going to do it once or twice, one day. That's it. I'm going to go up there one day. I'm going to nail one rivet and I'm taking my ass down. That's it. I'm not doing that. Hats off. But there are men today, if it came down to it, that would do that if you pay them $50 an hour, they'll get their ass up there and do it. There are men today like that. They out there. We just don't know it. But they out there. They keeping your lights on out there in the dead of winter when it's a winter blizzard. 30 below, the damn power lines going down. Who out there fixing them in the damn thing? The wind blowing, wind chill -10. Who out there? Freezing. Men. This nigga don't want to stand up and be a man. To me, that's the problem. That has always been the problem. When a man don't want to be a man, that's a problem. You're going to have to say some stuff that's going to hurt these little bohemian, weed-smoking, dusty women's feelings, and you can't tell them that they God. No. Get back. I'll handle it. That's it. You don't want to get out? Yeah, you either get out or lay down. But see that, so this guy would understand if he was a man, I'm going to take the reins. I'm going to take responsibility. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out and I'm going to build something that I control, that I have. Right? And then I'm going to be able to say yes or no if you can work or not. I'm going to be able to tell you yes or no. If you're a man and you refusing to stand up, see, that's the problem. A lot of brothers are like this. They don't want to stand up. They don't. He's making the excuses. I don't even think he's making excuses. I take that back. I don't think he's making excuses. I think he doesn't understand. See, that's the base. Let me tell you something. This is how they got us. This is how you destroy Western civilization. Yuri Bezmenov, right? Ideological subversion. One of the things you do is you break down the strong foundation. The foundation is the family. How do you break down the family? You take male leadership out of the equation. This dude is literally moving for the destruction of the foundation of Western civilization in Christendom, which is the removal of male leadership. That's what he's pushing for. He is literally calling for a realignment. And this is the thing he doesn't understand. He thinks that this realignment is going to be good. He thinks that an egalitarian society where women and men are equal is going to be good. He thinks that women and men, I'm talking about all the way 100% good, equal, right? 100%. Ain't no, okay, well, the men fight the wars and the men hold the doors and men are chivalrous, but the women still get to, that ain't 100%. 100% is, it ain't no difference between a man and a woman. That's what he's saying. That's what he's making the case for. He's saying that male leadership comes with misogyny and sexism and all these things. And so he's making the case for the destruction of what built Western civilization. One of the major things that I think that they did successfully with ideological subversion is that the Marxists were able to convince Westerners, or not even say convince, they have removed from the education system these definitions and understandings of how a society works, how things work, right? If you don't understand an internal combustion engine, you don't understand how the principles work with the spark plug and the pistons, and you don't understand how that works, when someone comes along and they try to explain it to you, you'll say something like, man, we need to get rid of the spark plugs. I know that's stupid, but you don't understand how the engine works. So you think taking spark plugs out of the engine is a good thing. Now, yes, I understand diesels don't have spark plugs. Just work with me, right? We need to get rid of gas. Well, wait a minute. Well, we need gas. Well, gas hurts the environment. Yeah, but you can't move it. You can't drive a car without gas. You need gas. That's what combustion. What you think is combusting? Gas. I mean, there's other ways you can work around, but you know what I'm saying? A gas engine needs gas. And when you look at Western civilization, it is built on male leadership. And that's why, listen to me, Christendom, aka Western civilization, the reason it has been so successful, better than any other society we have ever seen on the face of the planet. We have got to go back and look at what Western civilization is, starting with the Greeks going on up. Shout out to the homie Chuck, right? He talks about this all the time. Western civilization, Greeks, and how they pushed it and how it just moved from there. And we have Western civilization. It is the most successful civilization ever. The whole world is imitating and benefiting from the effects of Western civilization, which is led by men. That is a fact. A society crumbles when you remove that. That is a key piece. It's a key piece. I remember when I first got my Jeep, my battery went bad, and I put it in there, and I messed up and didn't put one of the cords kind of slid down to the side. I didn't know why. It kept running hot. I didn't know why. And then I looked up under there and saw that done thing, put it back on there, it stopped running hot. My fan stopped working. I didn't know why. Right? Certain things you need to understand with a society in Western civilization is built on male leadership. And this is not necessarily men just saying, because I got a dick and balls, do as I say, woman, lording over women, the type of, no, I'm not talking about that. See, a lot of bros think that's what that means, that a random man on the street supposed to tell a woman, shut up. And she's supposed to just, okay, that ain't, that's not how it works. It's not what I'm talking about. That's not how it works. But what I do think is when we're talking about the family structure and how men being in charge of the family and women submitting to their husbands. Yes, I said the word submit, damn it. When you submit to your man and you submit to his leadership in that home and you let him be the final say, what will tend to happen is that house will flourish. And let me go ahead and let this play.
And I think that because they catching these, you know what I'm saying, boys, say 12, 13, 14, patriarchy and misogyny and sexism, that shit is really like, it turned them on. Yes. So by the time they get to our age, we seen as some simping, lame ass panders. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So the issue is that we're not being intentional in this conversation with how to get them young boys to focus on our career. For sure. Them incel niggas. Yeah. The men that's patriarchs, that's into.
He don't even know what he's talking about. He has no idea what he's talking about. The men that are patriarch. I want to be a damn patriarch. A patriarch is a good thing. Abraham is a patriarch. Abraham is a patriarch. He's one of the main guys. What is Abraham known for? Was Abraham beating Sarah? Did we see where Abraham was beating her, dogging her, treating her back? No. Do we see? I'm trying to think of a patriarch, right? When you think of a man that built something, right? Like, all right, a good example. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. There's a guy by the name of Greg Calhoun. Let me type something up. I'm gonna see if I can find something about him. Greg Calhoun was on the BE 100. Greg Calhoun has family, has kids that look at him as a hero. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. This is a guy who's from Montgomery, Alabama. Right here. I'm born and raised. I know him. I know his daughter. I know all of them. This is a patriarch right here. Not a good one. Let me go here right quick.
Hi, Gregory. How are you?
I'm fine, Tasha. How you doing today?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed on the spot. I really do appreciate it.
Just put the check in the mail.
Okay, I'll try. So I wanted to ask you a couple of questions today. And the first question is just, I would love it if you could introduce yourself to the audience and let us know who you are and what you do.
My name is Greg Calhoun. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. I'm in the supermarket business. I'm a 30-year veteran, and as an owner of a supermarket, I became the first owner of a supermarket in 1984, African-American owner throughout the entire South. I'm here at the Black Enterprise Conference as a guest speaker.
Wow. Wow. I feel like I just hit the jackpot. As far as what Start Young Financial Group is trying to accomplish, a lot of it includes, community development, Black economic empowerment, and it's really obvious to me that those are things that are important to you. And I think being in control of, the food that is being distributed in our communities and things like that is extremely important. So congratulations to you for being the first African American.
So this is a patriarch. There are people running around right now in Montgomery with the last name Calhoun. They related to him. Everybody in the city know Greg Calhoun. This was him and Steve Harvey was like best friends. He's a legend. He's a straight legend, right? In the city of Montgomery, where I'm from. And not just in the city of Montgomery, but all over the country. This guy right here, JB Stratford. This is my old channel right here.
J.B. Stratford was a trailblazing African-American businessman and hotelier in early 20th century Tulsa, Oklahoma. Born in 1861, Stratford was deeply committed to economic independence and the upliftment of the Black community. His crowning achievement was the Stratford Hotel, a magnificent establishment in the Greenwood district, famously known as Black Wall Street. At a time when segregation severely limited opportunities for African Americans, Stratford dared to dream big. The Stratford Hotel was one of the largest and most luxurious Black-owned hotels in the United States, symbolizing prosperity and ambition within the Black community. Tragically, the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre brought devastation when a white mob destroyed much of Greenwood, including Stratford's hotel. Falsely accused of inciting the riot, Stratford fled to Chicago to escape persecution. Despite this, his legacy endures. Stratford's vision and determination laid the foundation for future generations of Black entrepreneurs. Stratford rebuilt his life in Chicago, successfully venturing into real estate and opening several stores that served the growing Black.
That's a man. That's what I call a man. That's what I call a fighter. A fighter. You hear me? His grandson is in the BE 100 now. If you go look at the Black Enterprise 100, Black Enterprises 100, his grandson runs, is it Templeton Invest? Let me see. I'm going to type it up. BE 100. Let's see if we can find it. Black Enterprise 100. I should have typed it up. Hold on one second. Black Enterprise. There we go. So this right here is just the nation's largest owned Black businesses, right? And entrepreneurship, leadership. Let me see if I can find top 100 financial services. He's at the very top. His grandson is. That's one. That's the bank. These are banks. Let me see. Asset managers. Is it asset managers? There it is. Aerial Investments. Aerial Investments is pretty much that's his grandson, man. He's in Chicago. And I can go and look up Aerial Investments right here. Let me copy this. Now I can go back to what's the name? So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna show y'all.
J.B.
Because it's one thing to talk about it, but I'm gonna just talk about Aerial Investments. This brother, you see where he is. This guy right here. He talks about his granddad. So right here, this guy is all on CNBC. This dude is a whale. He's a straight whale. This is the grandson of him. This is J.B. Stratford's grandson right here.
Try to make change in corporate America and in the nonprofit area is to make sure that people understand how this wealth and opportunity gap has grown larger and larger and larger. and the ramifications of historical discrimination and racism are still.
Do you have to be like this to be a patriarch? No, you don't. I look at my granddad as a patriarch. I do. I understand it. I understand vision. I understand certain things. My granddad taught his sons how to paint just like him, and they were painters. He gave his sons skills. In fact, my cousins are running the business right now. My little half brother I got still paints right now to this day. He's still a painter. This is a skill given through our grandfather. This is the truth. I can't stand weak men. I can't stand them because you're the reason the society is messed up. This dude up here on the screen is the number one problem with the black community right here. Dude's talking like this. This is, believe me when I tell you, this is the problem. It really is.
Feel me? That's them. They really trying to be intentional about getting the young boys. So I'm thinking about
they agree pushing past the racism to get the it's like because it's wild because you think like, okay, these people, like you're talking about the alt-right, a lot of people that have the podcast and
they look at they're using the word alt-right. They have lassoed in the red pill with the alt-right, with sexism. These niggas are completely ignorant about conservatism, about patriarchy, the depth of ignorance with these brothers. I don't even want to engage them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to debate them. This is the problem. The problem is some of these dudes are going out here and try to sit down and settle down with a woman. They don't understand what it means to be a man. You can't understand what it means to be a man when you talk like this.
This is right now.
You know, at this point, I say we just retire the phrase patriarchy because it's really not that deep and it really don't make that much sense when you really think about it. I mean, on the one side, you got guys saying, you know what, we got to tear down the patriarchy. We can't make it look so cool because patriarchy is bad and it's hurting women. Then on the other side, you got a group of men saying there was never no black patriarchy because the black man was never in a position and we really have a matriarch.
That's where I disagree. I know a lot of these brothers in this, but there's no such thing as black male patriarchy. It's never existed. I disagree. Let's go get the definition again. We gotta, because words matter, right? And if you don't know what words mean, that's where you fail at. Right? Let's go back. A social, political, and economic system wherein men as a group hold power, dominance, roles, leadership, and control property. That's one definition. But also the other definition, because see, you got to watch the definitions you get. A system or society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family and descent is traced through the male line. That's it. That's all patriarchy is. That's all it is.
And the gynocracy and so forth and so on.
Really, the black community is a gynocracy, but a gynocracy is a dysfunctional matriarchy. It's really not a matriarchy. It's really not a gynocracy because technically, to be a gynocracy, they have to be enforcing the will, which is really because we're really occupied by a higher thing, which is white supremacy. And every time draws power from white supremacy, they are betraying.
And you know, Edward, shout out to the homie Edward Anderson, but I disagree. I don't first of all believe in white supremacy as a system. I don't. And when you believe in that system, then you look at the dysfunction of your community and say, well, this is because of white supremacy. You look at them dusty niggas that we just saw in that panel, in that room, that panel, they're gonna go out, they're gonna get married, they're gonna have, well, hopefully they won't, but if they do, they're going to have kids and they're going to teach their daughters a bunch of bullshit. They're going to basically perpetuate this dysfunction. They perpetuate the dysfunction. They push the dysfunction in our society. And they scream in white supremacy too. They believe in that system of white supremacy is holding black people back. So how can you have two people that believe in a system of white supremacy, yet they're at war with each other? One is saying that the white supremacy is patriarchy and saying it's the alt-right and all that. The other one is saying, well, the white supremacy is the black woman and she's working against you. It's white supremacy, the white man, the white man. Something about that is just, you know, some of that you have to unravel and say, you know what, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I want to talk about? What can I do with my society, in my life, with my family, my wife and kids? What values and morals am I instilling in my children? Right? Do I push my son to believe in white supremacy? Y'all know better than that, right? You know better than that. Do I push him? I don't even push racism to him. I don't. And I know there are racist people out there. And I told them that you're gonna run into people that are racist and don't like you. But that's not something that should ever stop you. If God says something is yours, it's yours. Remember that. You need to be you need to be spending your energy and your time finding out what's God's will for your life. Because if it's his will, then you won't be stopped. That's the truth.
Black men.
And so you got both.
So when you talk like this, see, when people talk like this and they negate certain key factors, that's the problem, right? We can talk about relationships and how they don't work and how black women this and black women that. But guys, guess what? When you have a family that consistently has a consistent prayer life, when you have a family that prays together, your chances of ending in divorce are 1 in 1,600. I don't hear that in the videos, though. You don't see that often, do you? Now, why does that matter? Because a family that prays together, they always say stays together, and that actually is true statistically. But one of the things you got to look at is if you have a consistent prayer life, that's not just somebody that goes to church and then go home on Sunday and don't do nothing else. That's somebody, when you talk about a consistent prayer life, you're talking about someone that's willing to take what's being taught on Sunday and try to apply it to their lives. It's very difficult to go out here and cut up and act up in a marriage when you got a consistent prayer life because you're always putting God in the middle of it. So that just debunks that whole narrative, right? Oh, it's going to fail because of the gynocracy. You ain't got to worry about that. That's not your problem. You don't have those problems. You can pretty much fearlessly go into marriage if you have a consistent prayer life. So that's, So he's saying, what did he say? He said, here go Brizzle. What Brizzle got? Let's see what Brizzle got. He says, well, okay, 45% of black children are raised by the mother alone. I don't know about that. I heard it's 38. The articles and all the statistics and stories, but the myth, they say 8% of black kids are born with other 6% of black children are born out of wedlock. Amongst born marriage, there are step siblings. Black family is effective. Black women and their children. We got a stepfather is effective. A man getting onto a woman's program. Says who? Maybe we're a patriarchy at a point, but structurally, how are we not currently a matriarchy? I'm not talking about where the society is presently constructed because there's a lot of dysfunction that's happened. I'm not trying to say that there aren't some problems in the black community and we have a patriarchy. We don't. We got a bunch of men that whine and bitch, moan and whine and point fingers. And we got a bunch of women that think they can run and think because they don't know no better either. Why? Because one thing Marxists did successfully was remove from the education system the basic fundamental understandings of stuff like this. It's just like when you go to church and you ask them basic principles from the Bible and they can't even answer it. Basic stuff that's just like, dang, bro, all you had to do is crack it open and read it and you would have knew the answer to this question. Right? Is it okay to have sex outside of marriage? Most people will say, most people, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it, man. Some people will say that. Or, a girl gets pregnant and you say it's wrong and everybody got a problem with it. You can't judge. That means that's a person that ain't read their Bible. You got to do is read. That's all you got to do. Read 1 Corinthians. It'll show you quick and easy you can judge. Real easy. When you talking about in the church. Yes, you can. But what do? We don't read. And when you got a group of people that don't like to read, and then you got them being fed a bunch of junk and gobbledygook from college professors and liberal Marxists that are godless, right? And they pushing their ideology on you. You got people like Terrence Howard out here bumping his gums, right? Talking, telling folks all types of stuff. What tends to happen is that society falls because everybody, neither the women nor the men, understand what their roles are in the society. And when you don't have that, you get people talking like this. It's real easy to fix. Roles, understanding what your job is as a man fixes this. Understanding what your job is as a woman fixes these problems. It does. Let's keep going. What's up? What's up, 1990?
Sides pointing the finger at the other side, saying you did something that, and they both saying I didn't do it, it was you. Once again, you got one group of, and these are all black men. You got one group of black men saying that we got to tear down the patriarchy because the patriarchy is what's been hurting men. I mean, well, hurting women and tearing down the community and this, that, and the third. And then you have another group of men saying we never got to be patriarchs and it's been matriarchy just been tearing down the community because women have been propped up and so forth and so on. Listen, once again, here I am in the middle just saying both of y'all are making this way bigger than it has to be. Seriously. Because once again, at the end of the day, all a patriarchy is a system in which the men are the leaders. That's going to be a good thing or a bad thing depending on who the men are. It's really that simple. It's not that deep. But I'm gonna just talk about some of the things that Conscious Lee said because he got a lot of things wrong. First of all, the idea that Red Pill is pushing patriarchy, that's not necessarily true. Because if you listen to a lot of Red Pill guys are actually saying, don't get married, don't have kids, don't cohabitate.
Facts. And you can't lead, you can't build legacy, you can't be a patriarch without that. Can't be a patriarch with a baby mama. It's very hard to be a patriarch with a baby mama. Right? It's very hard to be a patriarch when, 25, 30% of your check gone before you get it. Right? Very hard to be a patriarch and for you to build credit, build business credit and fix stuff when you barely struggling in society because you got 2 and 3 kids out of wedlock. Like Cam Newton. Cam Newton finna be broke in a minute. I hope not. But the Bible says a fool and his money shall soon depart.
Right? He also mentioned incel. You can't be an incel and a patriarch. You cannot be an incel and a patriarch. You can't establish a system where you are over top of the woman and you don't even have no woman and you don't even deal with women. So that was an oxymoron. Don't even make sense. But once again, if he was really plugged in and actually listened to what some of these Red Pill guys are saying, these guys are not pushing patriarchy. As a matter of fact, I did a video a while ago that the black community overall is moving away from patriarchy.
Yep.
A lot of black men today don't want to be patriarchs.
Yep.
Why?
But could you imagine being a provider, man, where you sit up here and work all these hours and
I mean, this is it right here. Watch what he say. Just jaded. She's gonna do you wrong just because you don't even try.
With the woman and you're trying to give her the lifestyle that she says she wanted and you're just working your best because you do love and you care for this woman, all for her to end up turning around and saying you was never home. I feel like we don't love each other anymore and I want to go see other people, even though the only reason you was away from the home was to work, to pay for the lifestyle that she said she wanted. Could you also imagine having kids in this situation and then as your kids start to get older, they feel like they don't know their father because their father is never at home because they're always working to provide this lifestyle where the kids.
I mean, if listen to this dude, why would you even ever have kids or get married? He's basically telling you not to. He's telling you not to. It's not going to work. Which leads to the matriarchy, which leads to this egalitarian society where everybody's equal. That's what he's pushing. Really feminism. Really is. I think I heard, of all people, I think I heard Obsidian say that. This is feminism. This is feminism. It's just telling you, hey, don't stay at home and raise the kids and don't. It's the same thing. Don't do your traditional role. Don't do it. He's telling men to get out of their traditional roles. What happened with your granddad? What happened with your great-grandparents and all them? They was able to do it. Why you can't? Now it's a problem. You can't. So let me tell you. So you work hard, you build a business, or you work a 9 to 5. You can't get off work and be intentional with your kids and spend time with them. You just have to make efforts. Get off the damn TV. Quit worrying about LeBron James, and go and see what's up with your child. Take them to the track. Take them to the gym. Take them somewhere. Do something with them. Spend time with them. I'm a father. You can do both. It can be done. You ain't got to work and just get up and work and only get 6 hours of sleep and go to bed. It ain't got to be that. That ain't how 99.9% of men live. Most dudes are working 40 hours a week. Let's tell the truth. Most. That's just not true, man. Oh, Lord, here come Asriel. Here we go. What we got, Asriel? It doesn't happen, though, sub. Look at that woman on tonight's conversation said him paying all the bills was not enough. Men would like to do it, but women don't want to hold their end of the stick. See, and this is the thing, bro. This is the thing, what you're looking at. You looked at that woman. What everybody else said? Let's go find that clip. Let's go find it. Let's go find that clip. Let's find it. Because I see what you're talking about, but I disagree. I totally disagree. Let me see if well, it's been a while since he put it up. Let me see. Let me go to TikTok. See if it's over there. Let's see. Because I saw the clip. I was like, she tripping. But we'll get there. Hold on. We will get there. Let's see. T-O-N-I. Tonight's conversation. Let me see if I can find it. Because I played it a while ago. And we'll see. They just put it up not too long ago. So let's see. Is that it? Nope. That's not it. Let's see if this is it. This dude put up so many. That's not it. I'm going to find it. Because I did think that was crazy what she said. Here you go, right. All right. So let's pause this. Let's pause this. Now let's jump on over there. Well, brother, you don't have that problem. You won't have that problem if you do what I was talking about earlier. Where, statistically, you have a 1 in 1600 chance of that happening if you have a consistent prayer life. So a family that consistently prays together, that does not happen. It's almost impossible. Almost. 1 in 1600. That's pretty much impossible. Right? If I take 1600 pills and I put them in a bottle and I shake them up, right? One of those pills is red. Right? The rest of the pills are white. You got 1,600, you got 1,599 white pills and one red pill. You shake it up. You close your eyes and you reach in there. You pretty much gonna grab a white pill most of the time, more than 9 times out of 10. So I don't think that's a deterrent at all. But let's watch this lady because she's full of it.
Is a man who is willing to take care of you, the kids, and the household, but has no ambition worth staying with.
When you say take care of, what do you mean?
He pays all the bills. He take care of the kids. He step in.
How he
do that with no ambition? No, he got money. I want more.
You know what?
That part right there. I want more. What? What you mean you want more? He taking care of you. He handling his business as a man. But watch what they say though.
Complacent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm all for a man being ambitious and trying to have something and trying to build. I'm one of the biggest proponents of that. I don't think you should just sit still, right, as a man and be content. Let's say you work in a job making $40,000, $50,000. Yeah, you pay the bills at your house, but look, you should always want to try to build. That's me. That's the type of guy I am, right? But she out of order.
In the year when the job market is cooked,
When the housing market is cooked, when people are walking away from their children, you got somebody at home that is paying your bills. He is taking care of you, and he is taking care of your kids, and you are figuring out, should I leave him? Are you cool?
You talking about wow.
For a lot of men, there are so many women telling them you have to be more ambitious. And it's because they want the ambition to look like what they want it to look like. But his ambition is waking up every day and going to work, waking up every day and showing up for my children, showing up for my home. Like that's just as
He ain't out there on the streets chasing these hoes. He ain't beating her ass. He ain't bringing her HIV. He ain't, she coming home, catching him in bed with a man. He taking care of everything. And she wants more. She is this sad. Let me tell you something. This is a woman you leave. She didn't say they was married. So I hope he leaves her. Because, a woman like that, that's dissatisfied like that, they'll run you crazy, bro. They'll have you out this thing ready to slap fire. I mean, it really will. And I hate to be that guy, but they'll make you angry. They'll have you out here like, God dang, man, like, when is enough enough? You just unsatisfied with whatever I do, anything I give you, anything I show you, you're not satisfied with. That is, let me tell you something. That you want to make a dude hit the ceiling and go off and be angry. Let me be out there busting my ass, working a 9 to 5, working hard, paying all the bills, and you telling me it's not enough. That means you ain't got my back, as far as I'm concerned. What I hear is I don't got your back. I'm not happy. Yeah, you breaking your back. Yeah, you getting up 4 days in the morning, going out there, braving the elements, coming home, with a check and then paying all the bills. And check this out, it ain't over.
ambitious. You know how ambitious you have to be when you are going through depression. Your girl is telling you you need to do more, and then you don't feel like you're good enough, but she don't know the mental and emotional and spiritual battles that you have and how you still trying to show up for your home. That's ambition, baby. Take a moment, read, I think it's 1 Timothy 5:8. Because what it
well, you that one in the 1600, Brizzle. I don't know what, bro. I'm gonna tell you something, Brizzle. Just give it up, bro. Brizzle, I don't know what it is, bro. It just seemed like whenever something come up, it never works for you, Brizzle. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I really don't, Brizzle. But if I were in your shoes, every time somebody says something is possible, you always find a reason and say it won't work. I don't know what it is, Brizzle. I don't, bro. I don't know what to tell you, man. Real talk.
talks about is a man who neglects his home is the same as a man who denies his faith. This man is taking care of his home. There is faith and grace in that. He is being provisional. He's still leading. So we have to acknowledge that, because if not, you're going to lose that. Like that's a gem, baby.
I make my own money. I make more than him.
Ooh. Right. Her mouth, I can tell she got a slick mouth. See, it's something deep inside my soul, in my gut, right? When a woman got a mouth like that, it just make you, it just bring that rage out you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You feel it. I make my own money. Like, what the hell that's supposed to mean? What you mean? He paying the bills. We ain't talking about your money. We ain't talking about your money. He paying he's sacrificing his money that he got to get up and work 40 or more hours a week to get. So he feels it.
Right.
And you said he pays all the bills?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've been going overseas for years, man. Where your wife at, bro? You always talking. You just going overseas to bust a nut, bro. Azriel. Stop, man. Stop it, bro. Stop it. You just going to bust a nut. I guarantee you $1 million. You ain't going to get mad. I'll come back 5 years from now. I bet you won't have a wife. None of that. You just going to be going overseas fucking. Nah. Call your ass out, nigga. What you got, nigga? What you got? That's you. That's you, nigga. You gonna go overseas and get your smut on. That's what you doing. Man, just go overseas. You go overseas and find the perfect woman. I bet you won't wife up. I bet you won't, Bristle. Azriel. I bet you won't. Talking about you going, man, just go overseas like I did. Nigga, you going over there to bust a nut. You American. Come on, man. You probably going over to the brothels and all that shit. Man, stop it. Stop it, nigga. I'm gonna call your ass out.
And you make more money.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you make more money than him, and I want you to know that was not done by mistake. That was a systemic thing that was put into place so that the black woman can be elevated to start looking at they men like they not.
Her ass probably. What's she making? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I do pretty well for myself. I don't really, when I hear these women talking about they doing, most of them ain't making what I'm making. They ain't trying to be braggadocious. So when I hear this, I'm like, so? Oops. What you making, 300-400? You a doctor or some shit? Then you might can be talking. You can kind of talk a little bit. But if your ass, you a top 10% earner talking, and you'll see women talk like, I hate that. You got women, she making 85, 90. Go sit your ass down somewhere. Go sit down. That's no chump change. I'm not besmirching 75, 90, 100, 110. I'm not knocking that. I'm not. But you ain't in a position to be flexing on nobody making that kind of. You're not. You're doing good. I'm not knocking it. Like I said, I'm not knocking it. But don't take that and aim at it and use it as some sort of weapon. Like, well, I'm making this, and so I'm better than you. That's basically what she's saying. I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. There are a bunch of bitter, undeserving women that do not deserve to be married. You should never. She got kids. Are they his? And if they are, hey, we just gonna co-parent. And that's it. Leave her ass alone. She's not a bad-looking woman. That's the problem. A lot of dudes think with their head between their legs instead of their head on their shoulders. And they wind up with women like this. That's the problem.
Not doing enough. No. It is very intentional, the fact that you make more money. And even though your man is showing up for you, you start looking at him for like, why can't you do more?
The fact that this man is covering the bills, even though he knows you make more. Let me tell you, he's doing so that you can elevate.
All right. My internet kind of went out for a second, but I'm back. What's up, old dog?
What up?
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing, bro. Yes, I had to kind of redo it because the internet was kind of off a little bit. But that was the main thing right here. This woman is a trip, man. About that whole situation with this chick, bro. Old dog, you there?
Yeah.
What you think of this chick, man, with what she just said?
Well, I hear so that video I sent you, I don't know. Did I send you a video of and what's that old nigga from Minister Society talking about I want grits or come back here in the morning? Clifton Powell, yeah. That nigga.
Yeah.
So my homegirl sent me that video, and then we were talking, and she was like, she said we just want men to have more ambition. I'm like, okay, so a man gets up in the morning and he works and he's taking care of everything in the house. What more do you want? And she's like, well, we just want more. I'm like, what more do you want?
She wants an expensive car. She wants to take trips, and she wants to buy all types of stuff. That's what she wants.
Well, okay.
That's the only difference.
So
other than that, if a dude put you in a house comfortable, I'm not talking about in the hood where you're hearing gunshots, right? Because I can understand a woman not feeling safe, right? But if you're in a safe environment, which that's the case 9 times out of 10, and you not hearing gunshots and you're not worried about getting grabbed when you go to your car or whatever, then what else? I mean, you comfortable. He buying you gifts, maybe not the most expensive purses, but he'll buy you a $200-$300 purse every once in a while, or he'll take you out to eat, spend $150 taking you out to eat, doing the romantic things. But he ain't just rich,
Look,
right?
I think a lot of black women have a fantastical view on what marriage is. This is there has to be some kind of goal when you're married. The goal isn't just making the woman happy and so she can take trips and flex for the gram. I don't know where this whole infatuation with traveling came into the zeitgeist. It's like when I was
Well, let me say this. I think traveling is a good thing, and because I'm married, and I'm gonna tell you why. We take trips. It's more so memories, right? When you dying on your deathbed, you would rather have memories than a nice car, a nice suit, or you spent some money on some item. What makes life worth living is the memories of like taking your child. I just took my son down to Orlando. He had a blast. That's something we never gonna forget. He just had his birthday. I took him down there. He had a blast with his cousins. He had like god brother. He was about like 7, 8 kids there. He had a blast. That's
That's
something I cherish as a father. So I get memories in taking trips. That still don't mean go broke though. That still doesn't mean if we can't afford it, go and trying to flex for the gram. And so I do agree with you that you shouldn't be trying to flex if you ain't got the money, right? But if you can afford it and y'all want to take trips or something, I understand as a married man with a kid and a wife. And like this weekend, my wife done spent a lot of money on what she did. She done spent some money on some stuff for me for Valentine's. So we didn't do that last week because this weekend they gonna do it. We're gonna do a lot of stuff. Ray, her and her friends, we're gonna all get an Airbnb and have a blast. That costs money. That takes time. And so for a woman that does that, that's a memory for me. So I look at it and I used to, and I forget what book it was. I was reading a book. I forget which one it was, but it was a book I was reading by this Asian lady. She's from Canada. And she talked about, she's like, I spent money on a lot of material things and I wasn't happy. For me, happiness is a lot of times best when you have memories of things that you lived and experienced in life. And so that's where I think that comes from.
Look, I get all that, but you can make memories within your city limits. For example,
I'm not saying you can't. I didn't say you can't. I said if you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
well, I mean, it's not even just about affordability, but it's just the whole. I think a lot of people are monkey see, monkey do. They see other people traveling. They like, oh, I want to travel too. Like a lot of people haven't even seen what their own city has to offer, but they just want to get up and go somewhere else. I,
And I'm
I
with you.
think it's a copycat thing. Like to be honest, a lot of and I don't want to sound like I'm denigrating women, but a lot of women don't even know who the hell they are. So they just a lot of times women can't just sit down and be still. So that's why this whole traveling phenomenon is a thing. But you know, you can make memories in your city. People don't gather anymore. Like I don't see a lot of people gathering at the park. Well, I don't see black people gathering at the park no more. When I was little, we used to have like we used to like go swimming and barbecue at the park.
Yeah, memories.
You know what I'm saying?
That's therein that's what I'm talking about. So I do agree with that. I'm not arguing with anything you're saying with that. What I'm trying to say, we're really talking about patriarchy and the removal of society as far as the destruction of society or Western civilization, because both men and women don't understand their roles in society. And
And
so when you have men that think that we should abandon the responsibilities of patriarchy. Literally, that's what this dude on
no,
the screen was saying.
no, those niggas at that round table, I was so disgusted with them. Like you had a gay nigga there, then you had a trans person there. Black men have no standards. Black men let anybody sit at their table. I don't know what black men are thinking. Like black men come across as so weak, feeble, and pathetic to say that you're gonna let a woman run your household. But on the flip side of it, you got this woman whose husband is going to work. She makes more money than him, and he's not good enough for her. So it's like
But
nobody has the
I'm gonna say
concept.
this: if a man, that's rare what he's doing. That dude, she has a rare gem in the sense that most dudes cannot afford to do what that dude is doing for her.
And are those his children?
I don't know, but most dudes cannot afford to go to work and just off his paycheck pay all the bills in the house. So what she has is so rare to where we talking single digit percentages more than likely with black men. And I'm not trying to say that because that's me. I'm in that percentage. But I'm just saying
It's real. You just look at the numbers, look at the raw data.
Yeah, it's just not the case that women literally can stay at home and not work. And she working a 9 to 5 and putting all that money in the bank. She has no, what I'm saying is that's not normal. And so when you see that woman standing up saying that, it's a lot of women that's in that situation that know better. Because I got one upstairs. Know damn well she would never stand up and say no mess like that. Because she done worked a 9 to 5, paid her bills, know what it's like, hated it. She told me, tell me I hated it. She couldn't stand it. Right? Worrying about, okay, what if I did something wrong and they let me go? Or what if this? What if that? I got to deal with this. I got to get up. I got to ride through traffic. Oh, here come upper management. I got to make sure they happy. I got to do this. I got to make sure the customer's happy. She ain't want to deal with that. And so now she ain't worked, since 2020. She hadn't worked. So she looking like she's been 6 years. I ain't did nothing. She happy in that sense. You know what I'm saying? And so my point is when it comes to her, that woman in that video, that is rare that you'll find a woman in that position talking like that. That's a mess. She's a straight mess. And if I was with a woman and I'm doing that and she talk like that, we probably going if we married, we heading for divorce. We heading for divorce.
Well, the thing is, I'm just saying that I just believe that people don't understand the whole point of life and the purpose of the things that they do and their role in each other's lives. Like I don't think people understand that. That's why black people always talking about dating, because there's no defined roles there, and then when you talk about roles, then you got the women saying, oh well, this is not 1950s, I don't ascribe to gender roles. But then you got these niggas talking about, well, I'll let the lady lead, like the woman is smarter than me and all that. So it's like a whole bunch of confusion. It's like the women want you to be a man, but they don't want to follow you. They don't want to submit. But then the men just are neutered and shit like that.
Well, I think it's a difference. Like when you talking about following, right? Like if you, like you yourself, I don't know what you're doing now, but I knew you was running your business. You was trying to grow a certain thing. Certain times historically, men would be in certain positions, right? And then they would come. Like I don't want to use Color Purple as an example because I hated it. Right? I liked it as a kid, but now I hate what it represents, especially when you listen to what Alice Walker really believed. Right? But when you look at that, it was an older guy coming and getting a younger girl who doesn't have these resources, doesn't have this money, doesn't have, whereas a guy in his 40s, in his mid 40s, let's just say hypothetically, he'll go and he can easily go drop $300-$400 on the couch. On a go TV fall off the wall or something, the thing break. He can easily go to Walmart, in a moment's notice, walk up in there and buy a 65-inch screen for $400. Come back and put it up. He won't miss a beat. Men like that are in certain positions. What I'm saying as a man, and this is why I talked about earlier about a man you are a builder by definition. See, that woman doesn't understand what roles are. She doesn't, because that man checked all the boxes, but she wanted him to be a bit more ambitious. And I get it. Maybe she did. It's a way, I don't know how but you don't get up on a show and tear him down like that and say something like that. You should have gave him props and said, look, if I was going to ask that question, I'm very satisfied. I love my man. I'm very happy with him. He takes care of me. I just want him to be a little bit more ambitious. It would have went a way different. That would have went a whole different conversation.
Well,
she kept talking about how much money she made, and she kept trying to talking like he was beneath her.
Man, look,
that was a problem, and that therein is why I wouldn't want to be with a woman like that, and we probably just wouldn't make it. She could have asked that question in such a way where it sounded like she was belittling him.
man, look, her funky ass just don't know how to inspire him. Like that's a woman's power. A woman can inspire a man. It's I mean, just think back. Go to high school. You got that pretty girl in the class, and if you got A block, A day, B day, and then you looking forward to B day because you know that girl gonna be in the class. You gonna put on your best, right? You gonna smell good. You gonna iron your clothes. It's inspiring. That's the power women have. So if she just don't know how to inspire her man, like that's all it is, and it's probably because she's a bitch. Like, man, it's like people always
I
talk
agree.
about
I agree.
people always talking about like Proverbs 31. There's a line that says she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. So that kind of woman has her husband's best interest at heart at all times. But I don't know. Like I just think that you and I joke all the time. We say niggas are evil. Well, these women are evil too.
I agree. Let's keep going because I got some points I want to hit, and I want to finish this up right here.
Worry about money. Kids go to the mall, kids go to the movie, kids are going on vacation with their friends, and they never have to worry about a dollar. That you put them in one of the best schools you possibly could have, all for them to turn around and being like, you was never there for me. Could you also imagine losing the house that you was paying for since you was the provider man, and then you end up losing it in the divorce, and you're now paying alimony since you probably stayed home. The wife stayed home to take care of the kids, and now you got
a single. Most men ain't in that position. So see what I'm saying? He's talking like in deterring men. What he's basically saying is don't build a patriarchy. Then he'll turn around and bitch about a patriarchy not existing. Same guy.
to live in a one-bedroom apartment as your ex-wife is living in the house you paid for with her new man?
Because let's just be real. Once again, patriarchy is good or bad based upon the man in charge or the men in charge. That it's either going to be good or bad based upon whether or not the men are good or bad, right? That's number one. But number two, patriarchy places a lot of responsibility on the men, right? You gotta provide, you gotta protect, you gotta lead, you gotta sacrifice, you gotta put yourself in harm's way and step in between danger and the family and the woman. There's a whole lot of responsibility that comes along with it. And now they're talking about all this emotional maturity and being present and so and all these other kind of things that they're adding on to it. You got women talking about the emotional load and all this other kind of nonsense going on. And just because you pay all the bills don't mean you don't got to contribute to the house. And then there's a difference between being a stay-at-home mom and a woman who has a soft life or a woman of leisure.
Being a housewife is not a reward. Being a woman of leisure is a reward. But that's the same thing. No, they're not. No, they're not. If you're a woman of leisure, if you are a woman of leisure, you don't have responsibilities. Your responsibility is being a woman of leisure. If you are a housewife, you maintain.
This is see any woman talking like that. So if the man pays the bills and you're able to stay home and be a housewife, woman of leisure mean I'm just going and spending money on with my credit cards, maxing out your cards. I'm going shopping. I'm chilling. I'm riding the nicest shit. I'm wearing the nicest shit. I'm getting my hair and nails done every week. If I need something, I just come to you and get a couple of $1,000. That's a woman. That's what she's describing. So you ain't really not. It's levels to it in her mind, right? Like so now the man has to afford to make you run around here like you Zsa Zsa Gabor or something. Like you just, like one of the worst shows I used to kind of respect this show was Married to Medicine. And I never forget this episode a couple of weeks ago. So this woman, she don't work. Her husband is a doctor, right? All she do is spend his money. That's just what I think. I don't know her name. I forgot her name, but she spends this dude's money. They had a party, right? With all their friends, right? So he's sitting outside with all the dudes, they out there talking. She comes out there in front of everybody and just start talking to him reckless, just challenging his manhood. Why don't you be a man and da-da-da-da-da-da? And see, I would have turned into the Incredible Hulk. She'd have been all kinds of bitches. It just would have got real ugly. if she'd have did that to me. Everybody at the party's like, oh, don't do that. Don't, even the other women, don't do that. You don't get your man out in front and this woman ain't even working. And she coming out there talking to this dude like that. That's the type of woman like this woman on the screen. Some women do not deserve that. So you have to be wise and think circumspectly and understand the type of woman that you with and who you dealing with. And you need to use wisdom in vetting who it is you messing with. Because if you mess around, you get with the wrong woman. This woman right here, when you talk like that, she's telling you who she is. A lot of times dudes see a fat ass and they don't think straight. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that lust controlling a man because you're addicted to porn and you sitting at home whacking off every 10 minutes. So you just thinking with lust all the time. You just want to have sex. So you get around a woman like this. You see she got a treacherous ass mouth. You see she probably make you want to choke the shit out of her ass. But because she got a fat ass and a pretty face, you take it, you deal with it, you get with her. Now you bitching. Now you upset. Now and then you out here telling, oh, that's just society. No, nigga, you was thinking lustfully and you chose through lust. This is why I talk about men being chased. It hurts a society when men are out here sex crazed, running behind women, just thinking about how many women they can get in the bed. And then what happens is when you start really trying to get past that nut and you start really looking at how she treats you, and now you're upset. She's selfish. She was selfish when you met her ass. She told you. But you couldn't get past how pretty she was. That's the truth. You got some, old dog?
I understand what you're saying about the men lusting. But what is the recourse with this kind of woman? You know, because for me,
loneliness, not dating her, not being with her, not wiping her ass up, not giving her a chance.
Yeah, because my solution is
Been her ass over a couch with 2 condoms on, and don't call at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's the type of chick I wouldn't even mess with. This chick, I wouldn't even do that.
You can't do that though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Condoms break.
It ain't
deal in that situation, so you just leave her alone. Don't deal with her at all.
Attention. Any kind of attention is going to validate women. So my thing is like I just say let these hoes die. Like I don't like dealing with people that are not positive. I just don't like. I just all these negative conversations and people bashing and all that. I try not to engage in that. You know, but it's for men.
People bashing. I think she just out of her mouth, her heart. She's showing you her heart.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That as a man, not only do you need to pay the bills, oh, you ain't doing enough. She one of them. She one of these you ain't doing enough women. So basically, I need to live a life of leisure. Which
but I don't
think you talking about anything, walking in the mall, getting whatever I want without worrying about the price tag leisure.
But I don't think a lot of women that talk like that are actually getting that though. That's the thing, and I think they're misleading a lot of other women.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's 2 things. So what happens is it depends on where you are, and it just culturally, there are certain subcultures in America, particularly in places like Atlanta, Miami, DC, Houston, right, where you got dudes with a lot of money, right, and women tend to, a lot of women, in particular a lot of black women, tend to think that this is reality. They think that so a lot of women, what they'll do, a woman will have a roster of guys she talking to, and there'll be this guy who has a lot of money, right? Now he would never wife her, but he'll come by and he'll throw his money at her for sex.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's what dudes do. I've been around dudes. I know dudes like that got plenty of money, and if they mouth moving, they talking about what they want to buy you. What you want, baby?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
them niggas is throwing salt in the game for the regular guy. So a woman like this is warped in the head because she's been around. Don't think all these women they don't know situations where now they not gonna get wifed up. They might just get some hard dick, but they're not gonna get a wedding ring. But she thinks she can get one. She talking like that because she's been around it. There are guys like that. It's guys out there that's just tricking hard. They got money and they throwing it around. That's why a lot of dudes in the NBA wind up broke. A lot of NBA players, you go to, like, I could take you to Miami South Beach this weekend. I can take you to certain clubs. There will be successful black athletes, right? I remember I went to Dwayne Wade's birthday party, right? I'm there. It's dudes throwing money around, bro. Just buying bottles, wasting, want people to show. They want to show. A lot of dudes that come from the hood, they get money, they play in the league. They want to show they got money. So I'm talking about every 30 minutes, I was sitting by this dude. He's standing on top of the couch. Women coming by. He done bought the whole table full of bottles. Every couple of minutes, he bringing bottles. They not even drinking them. They just bringing the bottles. You seen the thing with the bottle wars where the niggas was pour it out.
Yeah, that dumb nigga shit.
So when you go to a club and you got simp niggas like that, like dare I say, what's the word? Shallow, right? Shallow, superficial men with money. It's a lot of them. They out there. Now, what happens is these women get around them and they think this is normal. They think this is life. This is nothing. I know a bunch of men. They'll tell you in a minute. I know a bunch of men like that. I know them. They'll say that, right? Did he wife you? No. Or and this is the thing. This is the thing I will admit. I've met women that will have that simp guy with a lot of money that really wants to be with her, right? But she's not attracted to him. So it's not only is it somebody with money, it got to be of a certain type. Like she might wipe her ass with him. And when I say wipe her ass, I mean she'll get with him, date him, be his girl, let him lavish all types of money on him till he run out of money. Then she leave him. Or it'll be like one of those situations. Or she'll be around the guy that got the money, still be sleeping with the one that she really want. And he got money, but he got a list of women. She just on the list. Because he's attractive. He's got it all. He got everything. He over 6 feet. He got the money. That's probably some athlete, some rapper. I seen a chick get like that about Jazzy Faye fat ass. But it's Jazzy Faye though. That's fame. See, that's status. So it's a different. That guy who has that status, that's who she want. But that same chick I have a simp guy that's a millionaire that do real estate, she'll use his ass. But that when we talk about this, I'm talking about there's certain levels to this because there's certain types of women that do that. Now you talking about a certified 9 or 10 type woman. I'm not talking about no damn 6. Right? This woman on the screen, she all right. She's okay. She ain't, I don't know what she look on. She built like, she don't look that cute to be up here talking like that to me. You sit your ass down. What you mean life of leisure? Do you live a life of leisure? If you got your own business and you paying for it, then you shouldn't be on a dating show talking about it because you had to pay it out your own pocket. Show me what a nigga doing that for you. Show me. And he ain't no simp. And he's a man that you actually care about and will be with if he ain't got $5. You won't, because you ain't getting that. I don't trust chicks like this.
What I'm saying is that's whoredom though. Like these,
of course it is.
These women are whores, harlots, hoes. They are. This is soft prostitution. That's what it needs to be called. These women are whores. You paying to get down. You a hoe.
Even, and this is the thing. That woman is turning around and say every woman do that. Every woman does, and I hate when people say that.
Every woman doesn't, and
every woman ain't out here doing some damn transactional sex with their man. That's a lie. Now I hate to hear women say that. Well, now you a lie. Da, 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 da. Well, okay. So if I'm married to a woman and I'm doing well for myself and shit get bad, is she gonna say, "Well, shoot, you ain't getting no ass"? No. Some women will. Some women will. I ain't gonna say that. But I'm talking about with me. Because I done been fucked up. I done been broke. You know what I'm saying? I done been where I ain't had no money. That ain't those are two different things. She's okay, well, babe, I go get a job or I go do this or I go do. A woman that's with you, you ain't gotta worry about that. If she with you. If she's not with you and you lose your money, she's gone. This woman right here is showing and displaying qualities of a woman that will leave. She's superficial. I will never trust her with my heart. I can't. A wife, that's a woman you're supposed to be able to trust with your heart. You can't trust this woman. She is not wife material. And she's telling you, I don't care how much money she got. I don't care how romantic she is. See, a woman like this, it's good to hear her talk and have these conversations. Because when I see you talk like this, I will never give you the time of day as a man. If I do, I don't even think you should even spend. And this is my thing, and I agree with you 1,000%. We was talking about this earlier a few minutes ago. I don't think you should spend sexual energy with a woman like this. You shouldn't. It's
because you're validating her. You're validating her.
You're validating what she's saying. And number one, number two is it's women out here look just like her that won't give you this bullshit. I give her maybe a 7. Right? I don't know what she built like, so I can't see. She might have a nice shape to her, but she'll say, she ain't fat. She decent, right? I hate that hairstyle she got, but it is what it is, right? But a woman like this, cute. She's a cute woman. You ain't no dime. No, I'm not wasting energy with a woman like this. But you got dimes that talk like that. And it's a turnoff. It's like, let me tell you something. One of the things I hate when I was single was a woman that smoked. And I'm not just talking about cigarettes, I'm talking about weed. If I meet you and you get high, I don't want to talk to you. I don't. I think it's unladylike for a woman to smoke. Period. Be it weed or cigarettes. If you smoke, it is unladylike for you to smoke. I'm old school. So that's a turnoff. And I meet a chick and we vibing, and if she pull out a damn cigarette or she pull out a damn blunt and light it, we done. We done. It's a turnoff.
Yeah,
that's the same thing with this woman here.
That's a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
That and a lot of tattoos. I don't.
When you tattoo a woman that's tatted up all down her legs and back and arms, that's a freak. 9 times. She's a stripper, she a hoe, she a freak. That's how I feel. I know that's very unfair. Some women might just like tattoos.
I don't think it's ladylike to like that tattoos though. I because the thing is, I have this thing about making decisions and decisions following you that you made. There are decisions that I made that I don't wear. But for a tattoo is something like, oh well, I feel like getting a tattoo today, so I'm gonna get something permanent on my body. So to have that mentality to be so impulsive or just to respond on impulse and then get something permanent, that means that for women, it's like that means you'll just lay down with a nigga. Once you lay down with a nigga, that's permanent. And then you put yourself in a situation to where he can get you pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So, that's, and I know I may have taken it further than it needs to be, but that's just how I look at it. A tattoo on your wrist, something small. That's cool. Like I don't care about that. But when it's excessive, when you got fucking sleeves and shit like that, it's a turn off for me.
Look, I live in Atlanta and I've seen some pretty women, and then I see them all on their neck and down their arm. I don't look at you. You're in a category. I don't see you as wife material. I don't see you as a mom. I don't see you as a woman that would be quality enough to get with and be my wife, or a woman that can be the mother of my child. Because I think you got low moral. You know why? Because if I walk up in Magic City, I'm gonna see a bunch of women just like that with strippers with tats. That's the stripper uniform. Naked with a bunch of tats down your thighs, the tramp stamp all across the back. It's a turnoff. It is. And so I feel like with women, like talking like this is a major turnoff. And so when a woman talks like this about a life of leisure, what you're saying is you want to be able to go and buy a $5,000 couch. You want to be able to ride a $70,000, $100,000 car. You want to, and you feel like you're deserving of it. But a housewife where she ain't got to work and pay no bills, and her husband pays all the bills, she thinks that woman is somehow where she has some responsibilities as a woman in the home, cooking, cleaning, making sure the kids are good. She don't like that. That's not a woman of leisure. That's what she's saying. Listen to what she said.
If you are a woman of leisure, you don't have responsibilities.
See that? No responsibilities.
Responsibility is being a woman of leisure. If you are a housewife, you maintain.
She don't want no responsibilities whatsoever. This is a woman that is for the destruction of Western. This is all about, we talking about the destruction of Western civilization. And we're talking about destruction of the most successful civilization known to man in history, which is Western civilization. It has given us so much, right? And she's tearing it down. I'm gonna go through some points. In a patriarchy, clear leadership structures reduce ambiguity in families and institutions. Someone is accountable when things go awry or sideways. That's number one, right? Number two, role clarity. That's what I've been talking about. Lowers social friction. When expectations are defined, coordination improves. Less chaos, fewer who's supposed to do this moments. Who's supposed to do this moments? So if the children are messed up and I'm up here working to give you this life of leisure and the children get in trouble at school, you know, your daughter is best friends with a girl that thinks she's a lesbian, which I'm gonna be very involved in that. But I'm just saying, the mother's the first line of defense. You saying you don't want no responsibilities whatsoever. So she's not a woman that's wife. She's basically describing a woman that's not capable of being a wife. Right?
I agree.
Historical durability. Patriarchal systems built and sustained civilization for millennia. Roads, laws, plumbing, and all the things that we still use. Right? Number 4, merit through responsibility. Authority is traditionally tied to duty, provision, and protection, not just status. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Number 5, family stability improves when leadership and responsibility are centralized rather than negotiated endlessly. Because that's what they're talking about when they talk about the destruction of patriarchy. They're talking about the negotiating every damn thing. Because that, am I right? When you're talking about a society where you're tearing down patriarchy, then you're talking about in a family structure, everything is negotiated between every damn thing. Right? There is no leadership. There's no responsibility. It's not being centralized. It's split up. That's which is stupid.
Yeah, people need. It's like going to a job and then it's like, oh, there's stuff to do, so just do it. Nah, you have to delegate accordingly. You know, and somebody has to be the arbiter of that delegation.
That's it. Because think about it, if you work at a company and nobody has any set roles. Is that company going to survive?
It's not going to survive because it has no system. That's the thing. Like,
who in charge?
No shit.
Well, nobody.
That's
We
the
just
thing.
negotiate everything. We're going to argue. So guess what? We'll spend more time arguing about what's going to happen. And then if some don't get done because it doesn't fall under your job description, because there is no job description. That's basically what she's describing. Also, patriarchy encourages male accountability. Men are expected to lead, provide, sacrifice, and not opt out. That's patriarchy. Number 7, long-term bias. Patriarchal systems tend to prioritize legacy, inheritance, and future generations over short-term gratification. Oh, we cooking. You got something on that one? I'm gonna let you cook on that one. I know you got something to say about that.
Nah, just keep going, because I mean, we can go on all day about that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna just read it again.
I'm just all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Long-term planning bias. Patriarchal systems tend to prioritize legacy, inheritance, and future generations over short-term gratification.
Okay,
you
so
can't build intergenerational wealth without a family. That's stupid. You sent me that video, remember?
Yeah, and and if you think like that, if you have that kind of mindset, you're gonna end up broke.
That's it.
Because it takes foresight to be able to invest. It takes foresight, discipline, and planning to be able to actually build something. You know, so it's, and I hate to say, but you know, when women, I've talked to women with children, and some of the decisions that they make on a whim, I'll just be like, damn, like it's like that. I'm like, you got children, like you can't just make a decision, like it's gonna put everybody in danger. I mean, I wouldn't say nothing because it wasn't my place, but I'm just like, wow. So it's like when people say women can lead, I'm like, I don't know about that. I haven't seen it.
So right here it says societal order over impulse. This is another benefit
There
of
you
patriarchy.
go. There you go.
Right
Right
here,
there.
because hierarchies favor structure, discipline, and restraint. Key ingredients for a functioning society. Right there. Number 9, reduced decision paralysis. Fewer competing authorities means faster, clearer decisions in critical moments. Instead of sitting there going back and forth about what she want to do, right? Protection framework. Historically emphasize defending women, children as vulnerable as a moral obligation and duty of leadership. Number 11, skill specialization, which allows people to focus on what they do best instead of forcing uniformity for ideological sake.
Time out. Time out. Let's go back to number 10. Go back to number 10 because I got something to say about that.
Okay, it's protection framework. Historically emphasize defending women, children, and the vulnerable as a moral obligation and duty of leadership.
Was that was number 10, number 9. What was number 9?
Reduced decision paralysis.
There we go, right there. There we go.
Fewer competing authorities means faster and clearer decisions in critical moments.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Because I said this in a video. So you're a dictator, right? What happens when people have children out of wedlock? If you're a dictator.
I would force marriage if I was a dictator.
Okay, because see, here's the thing. In the society we have now, it causes too many problems downstream because and this is why I said that if a man and a woman have a children and they split up or wedlock or whatever, or they have it out of wedlock, that child needs to go with their father. And the reason I say that is because when that child is with the mother and that child goes off to their father's house on the weekend and whatnot, and let's say the mother gets with another man, that child is going to bring influence from that other home into this new man's house. So now there's going to be conflicting authority. You get my drift?
Yeah, I see it.
So you know that's actually a very big problem in society. And you know, for a man to take that on, and it's like we always, we demonize niggas in the manosphere and all that stuff, but that's a serious issue. That is a serious issue, having to deal with another man's influence in your own home. Anyway, but that's
no. I was watching a video with Game. I think Game was talking, and he was talking about the girl that he got pregnant. What's her name? Daughter. Evelyn Lozada, her daughter, right? The one that was married to Ocho Cinco, right?
Yeah.
And this nigga literally sat up there and said and told her that she ain't getting married. She ain't nobody gonna get with her because I'm the baby's father, and most dudes ain't gonna want to deal with me because if the child called me and said that he raised his voice or did something, then he gonna have to deal with me, and most dudes ain't trying to do that. And her mom sat up there and laughed. And everybody was just like, wow, why would your mom laugh at a man basically telling you he ain't gonna help you do nothing? He ain't gonna help you with the child. And, and her mom laughed, and she looking at her mama like, damn, and everybody was talking about that, like how Evelyn Lozada's trash because she's sitting there laughing at her daughter getting, destroyed by the game and getting a baby by him. And then he up there telling she gonna be a single baby mom and can't never have nobody, can't never get with a man because now she got a baby by him by Game, and most men ain't gonna want to deal with that.
Well, I mean, hey, that's she made the choice.
I mean, she made a dumb choice, and that's what everybody was saying. Like, why would you even get with a guy like that? Because you do have to think of that. Like, is he the type of guy like Game? Like, I wouldn't take game serious as a woman and even go on a date with his ass because I see where he at, what mindset he on. So if you do get a baby by this guy, and sat there and told her, you can't, she gonna forever be at my disposal, basically. And her mama was laughing. Like, she's gonna forever be in my lane because ain't no other man gonna want to deal with her because of me. That's a problem.
Well, her mom has suffered the same fate, so that's why she laughing. Because I mean, shit, nobody wants to deal with her
I
ass.
think her mama jealous. To be honest with you, her mom was jealous of her daughter. Her daughter had youth, and her mom taught her to chase celebrities instead of telling her to go get her a regular dude that would have probably tried to wife up and be. And I'm sure her daughter's a beautiful girl. Sure, some dude was crazy about. See, this is the thing about pretty women that I always say. Pretty women have a laundry list of dudes that wanted to wife them up and be with them, and they gave them their ass to kiss. That's the truth. I guarantee you, Evelyn Lozada's daughter had some dude she probably dated in college, or some dude that, wasn't a bad guy, that probably would have been with her. I remember, what's her face was engaged? Lori Harvey, to a professional soccer, a Formula One racer. And Steve Harvey was sitting up there bragging about how nice the guy was. And next thing you know, she was with Michael B. Jordan for a couple of years. I'm like, damn, wasn't she engaged not too long ago? She just bounced around all these different dudes. And so the thing is, I feel like women like that, when they get older and time catches up with them and they realize, oh my God, I messed up. I done missed my window. Evelyn Lozada's still a good looking woman. She can still kind of play around. But even if she was on that show Looking for Love, I forget the name of it, where they have all these guys trying, I think it was Ready to Love. It was her and it was Tamar Braxton. And they had all these dudes on there, and all these dudes, and you shot and you disqualified all of them. And she got with a dude that really was serious about her, and we knew it wasn't gonna work because of her. Because of her.
Yeah.
Some minds are, they always and forever. And this is the thing. Having been around these types of women, certain women, like living in Atlanta, going to Miami, hanging out in Miami, you're gonna be around women that all they want to do is date celebrities. They real pretty. They can get a man easy. Like, I'm talking about like how they can catch a taxi. That's how easy it is to get a man, right? The problem is they think they can play the field and get it's just like, what's that lady name? Beautiful lady. She about 60 something now. What's her name?
Vivica.
The one that
Claudia Jordan.
She was on the Hughleys. She played the wife in Hustle and Flow. What was her name?
Oh, Taraji?
No, Hustle and Flow. She played Anthony Anderson's wife.
Oh, Elsie Neal. Yeah.
Yeah, Elise Neal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elise Neal's cold.
Yeah. She bad.
Straight up cold, flawless, bad. I mean, I saw her at 50. They showed her like abs. I mean, she just a cold female, right? She still was chasing up behind Rick Ross. And I just, for the life of me, I'm talking about, she was 50 some years back when she had turned 50 years old, and still, like, she took some pictures. She still think she got a shot at Rick Ross.
I mean, shit, everybody got a shot at Rick Ross, man.
He got a shot at, nobody really has a shot at Rick Ross. Rick Ross ain't finna wife nobody, right? Rick Ross,
he ain't finna wife nobody. But I mean, shit, that nigga, what you call it, the ugly tax?
I mean, yeah, but the nigga, that's what I'm saying. He's still status wise, because you got also, there is an ugly tax that men have to pay, but he got status. He's Rick Ross. He a little different. Rick Ross, he got status. I can't hate on him. The man does have a name. He has status. Status is different than just a guy that just got money, right? You got money, yeah, you got to pay the ugly tax. Elise Neal could probably go get her a damn doctor, a lawyer, somebody really with some real money that'll wife her up. She don't care. She thinks she is in her damn 60s probably by now, and still out here chasing rappers. Some by her should be like, you know what? He's a rapper. I'm gonna leave his ass alone. He's for children. I'm a grown ass woman. Go get me a man and go sit my ass down. She don't want to do that. And there's a lot of women like that. A lot of these pretty, like, dime level women, that's how they are. Not that you can't get one and you can't find one, but a lot of times their heads are so fucked up that they will never be able to just settle down. Like I know strippers that work at Magic City, they damn near 50. But they look, they cold and flawless. You talk to them, like, when you graduated? 93. Like, you graduated in 93? Damn. I remember I used to go all the time, and I'm sitting like, wait a minute, she older than me? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like 38, 37, and she 40. I'm like, you 40? Like, yeah, I just turned 40. I'm like, damn. I go in there now, she's still in there.
Yeah, her mind gone.
Yeah, her mind,
Her
but
mind
still,
gone.
I ain't gonna lie, when the girl take her clothes off, everything's sitting right, perfect. Bad as hell. But
Yeah.
still, mentally,
Yeah.
want to live a life as a stripper. Then she broke.
That's
Make
the
all that
thing.
money and living paycheck to paycheck.
And that, but
living night in the club to night in the club. She make money. She spends every damn dime she get.
that's the abyss that these women fall into. These young pretty girls, they fall into that abyss. Nobody tells them that it's nothing but misery, and they usually these women, like, nobody talks about how their lives end. Like they usually die before their time. Some of them die of overdoses. They're chronically depressed, heavy in drug use. That is just not a life that's appealing.
Man, let me tell you something. It's funny you say that because I used to talk to a stripper. I know, but she used to tell me how it was, right? And she told me, she say, it's ratchet as hell. She said, man, you'll be down there, and some of them girls are bullies. So you have girls down there in the locker room beating girls up. They'll wait. They'll let them strip. Wait till they about to leave. They'll come down there and knock their ass clean out, take all their money, and walk up out that mug. He said the security won't nobody do nothing because they women. So a lot of times they'll just be, they just fighting. Or if you got a regular that come in the club like at Magic, because it's $10 a dance. So you up in there, this dude over there, she'll come in and grab some of your money. She say she got in some fights up in there. Girls will be down there taking your money off the floor, and it's hell. And I remember this one girl, I'll never forget this. This real pretty little girl, man. She was in college, African too. Her dad, she was pretty much American, but she had an African dad, right? Her dad stopped paying for college because she was some I forget what it was. Her and her dad got into it, right? So she was working at Onyx over there on Chester Bridge, right? So I'm up in there, we talking, I'm drinking, and then she say, yeah, my dad, it's my first week here. I said, okay. And she said, I really don't want to do this job. I don't. She told me. I said, well, because I didn't ask her. She volunteered it. I don't know. I just feel funny. I'm just doing it for the money. I need the money. I don't want to do this. I'm like, okay. Man, I come back about 6 months later. And I saw her. And I looked, and I squinted. I said, wait a minute. Do I know you? She said, oh, hey, how you doing? We started talking again. Bro, now she going both ways. She got a weed problem. I think she love ecstasy. She just got turned all the way out in 6 months of stripping. Just wild. And so the point I'm trying to make is, oftentimes when you look at dime level women that are really pretty, they damn near like strippers, a lot of them. They still got that transactional energy about them. This woman here on this screen is one of them. So I'm going to read number 12. Predictable norms. When you have a patriarchy, it makes cultures easier to transmit across generations. Grandparents don't need a glossary to explain life. It's a benefit of patriarchy. Number 13, incentives. Incentivizes competence. Leadership is earned, maintained through performance, not feelings or popularity contests. Number 14, patriarchy reduces social fragmentation by unifying families and communities around shared authority structures. And last, number 15, civilizations scalability. Hierarchical systems scale better than flat ones. Small tribes can vote on everything, empires can't. Right? And so that's the main thing. And I want to just name a few societies that had these problems before they fell. Namely, the Roman Empire. I started talking about that. Late Rome was declining in male civic duty, fewer men marrying and having children, and reliance on mercenaries. Elite Roman women increasingly rejected family roles, right? It was a marker of elite decadence, and Roman writers warned about it. Tacitus and what's that? Juvenal, whatever. The Western Roman Empire. This is when Diocletian had split it. It says family formation collapsed, masculinity ridiculed. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Military service was outsourced. Role reversals coincided with loss of discipline and identity, not empowerment. Late Byzantium Empire. Court politics became dominated by intrigue, succession manipulation, and palace control rather than merit. Chronic instability in leadership of families weakened the state cohesion. So the Byzantium Empire failed. Ancient Egypt in the later dynasties. Several periods decline followed the breakdown in traditional priest-king authority and family continuity. Right here it says foreign influence plus internal role confusion weakened centralized power. This role reversal is outright straight from the pits of hell. Sparta in Greece. As Spartan men died off, women controlled most of the land and the wealth. Military discipline eroded, not because women owned land, but because male duty vanished. When men lose a sense of duty, it's over. It is over. That's a telltale sign of destruction. And what do you see men doing? I played the video of them weak ass niggas whining about duty, whining about responsibility. That's what they do, right? It's not going to work. You shouldn't try. You should never do it because this is going to happen. They tell you a bunch of shit that ain't going to ever happen. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And that's what you see from a lot of these dudes.
So I told my homegirls, like, I told her, I bet you 98% of my paycheck that most of them will say, oh yeah, well, I'm not Christian, but I do believe in something.
Oh yeah.
I bet you most of them are gonna say that because everything those niggas were saying was just anti-God.
Yeah.
Anti-God, anti-Christ, call it what you want, but it's just wicked.
Yep. Right here, French monarchy. The French monarchy, right here, it says court culture shifted towards indulgence, leisure, and sexual politics. Male leadership became performative, while family formation and responsibilities collapsed among the elites. The Weimar Republic. Extreme social experimentation during World War I, gender confusion, family breakdown, and male disenfranchisement coincided with economic collapse and radicalization. Late Imperial China. Confucian family structures weakened under corruption and foreign pressure. Breakdown of paternal authority correlated with social fragmentation and rebellion. Notice you see a trend. This is number 8. Number 9, the Ottoman Empire. Palace politics increasingly replaced battlefield merit. Male civic and military responsibility eroded while court life expanded. And number 10, the Minoan civilization, often cited controversially as highly matriarchal, right? It says collapsed rapidly after external shocks. Some scholars argue that the lack of militarized male culture left them vulnerable. And that's what you're doing. So when you talk about the destruction of Western civilization, that's what these people are talking. This woman on this screen is talking about destroying Western civilization.
Manage the house. That's not a reward. It's a job.
And so forth. Like, it's a whole lot going on with that these days. And I don't want to pay for dates. I don't want to split this. I'm looking for a man. I don't have no interest in 50-50. I'm too good. I know my worth.
Would a 50-50 man for you disqualify?
Absolutely.
Disqualify? What if he? Okay.
Like, I haven't met him. I wouldn't even have met that man. A man that wants to be like half and half had never met me. I didn't meet him. He wasn't even in my room. I never met a man like that. Literally, I never met the man. Seriously, like there's no way you looked at me and was like, "Yeah, we going to like." I seriously, this not. I
So,
never
can you
met
stop
him.
the video for
I'm
a
not running
second? This is the frustration that these people lack perspective. When we talk about 50-50, we're talking about a man that is providing all the woman's needs, everything she needs, the man is providing that. But the thing is that actually comes with purity. Traditionally, um, you would do that for a virgin. And I'm not trying to shame women, but that's really what it is, because when the women when women were virgins, then it gave a man a sense of duty to protect and fight for the honor of that woman. But this chick is over here sitting here with tattoos on her arms and talking about that man wouldn't be in the room with me. I don't understand. I don't know if it's a lack of perspective or ignorance or arrogance or all of the above. But
I
if
think if it depends on what we're talking about when we say 50-50. If it's a dude that's out here saying first date we going Dutch, then I can understand why a woman wouldn't want to deal with that. I don't begrudge a woman if a woman's going on a date. If I ask you to go on a date, I'm not asking you to pay for a damn thing. That's just me. I'm like that. I don't even feel right to check calm and the woman pulling her wallet. No, you're not pulling nothing out. We just met. I'm taking you on a date. I'm traditional. I'm an old school guy. I'm not a guy that's gonna let you pay for a damn thing. Now, if we've been dating for months and you my girlfriend and every time we go out, I pay and you never even offer, then yeah, I'm looking at you like most women that I dated, every woman I dated offered to pay. Sometimes they did pay.
but
I
this
never had a situation where I dated a woman for months and she never once reached to grab her purse to try to pay. That's the first date. If we meet, and I don't know, maybe God just never gave me that. I never was in that type of situation where I meet somebody and she looking at me like I ain't paying for nothing. Like, no, now if I ask you out, I'm paying. If you ask me out, if you say, hey, baby, let's go here, let's go to so-and-so, it's up in the air because you asked me, we going. I'm expecting as the man to pay 9 times out of 10, though. That's just how I am. I'm certain things when we talk about roles, that's one of the things as the man I expect to pay for the date. I don't think a woman should be like that. But at the same time, if she worth anything and she really is a quality woman, she's gonna offer to pay. She's gonna at least offer to pay, and she's gonna pay sometime. Y'all date for years, y'all been dating for a while. She gonna pay. Like when I met my wife, we dated for years. Like the first 6-7 months, shit, really the first year and a half, 2 years, she didn't pay for nothing. You know why? Because I was flipping houses. I had a lot of money, and she didn't pay for that. And then when the housing bubble happened and all that, she kicked in. You know what I'm saying? She gonna pay for something, but she offered within the first couple of weeks of us going out. She offered. She didn't just say, okay, well, he paying, because I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes I'm feel like, damn, do you give a damn about me? Do you care about me and my well-being? Do you care if I got goals and things I'm trying to do with my money? I don't need to be slapping out $150, $200 every time we go out to eat. So are you gonna show love and say, you know what, baby, we ain't got to do that. Let's go somewhere cheap.
but
You got
that-
a lot of money.
that's the thing. Like, black people have replaced long-term dating for marriage. And we keep talking about dating and going 50-50 and all that, but you talk about your parents, your dad worked, your mom worked, right? They were both contributing to the household economy. So it's like women women that are 34 years old and up, they have this mindset that, "Oh, I'm gonna marry a man and I'm not gonna work anymore." Like, I don't think that's realistic, and it's hurting a lot of women. It's keeping them single. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not an advocate of 50-50. I'm an advocate of do what it takes. You know, so if a woman has to work for, you know, a couple of years, so be it. But it's better that she be in a household in a marriage than out here in the wilderness by herself. You know, so I don't 50-50 is it's not the point. The point is that these women are not thinking about how they can contribute to a man in a marriage or how they can contribute in a marriage. They think that they all they have to do is show up and bust it wide open. Like, no, like that it doesn't work like that. It's just not. I don't know. I don't know. It's very disappointing that when I hear women open up their mouth and they're espousing those kind of values or lack thereof.
I don't know. I'm a little bit more nuanced. I have to hear more. That point she just made about not being around a guy that's 50-50. You have to understand a lot of these guys that have talked like this, they are literally saying that we go 50-50. A man shouldn't pay for a date. I don't blame or begrudge a woman for saying she don't want to talk to a man like that. I don't blame her. I think that's the thing. Now, if we're saying that 50-50 in a marriage where we're married, we have kids, and you pay all the bills, and I shouldn't have to pay nothing because I'm the woman, then I can see where you're coming from, and I agree with you that society and inflation and where we are in America right now economically, that's just barely feasible for a lot of people, right? But when we talking about going on a date, yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with a woman having certain expectations of a man going on a date. If he asks her to go out on a date, then she should expect him to pay.
I don't have no problem with that. I made in all the dates I've ever been on, I made a chick pay one time because first of all, she asked me out. Then she opened her mouth and said that she's on a break from her boyfriend. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I see. I gotcha. You know what I'm saying? So I made, you know, when the check came, I told the waiter, I need you to split the bill. And then, you know, her whole face just changed. You know what I'm saying? And that was the only time. There was a time where this one chick, she said, let's hang out. And then I was like, all right, whatever. I was bored. We get, you know, we go to Dave and Buster's. They bring the check. And then she says, I hope you're not expecting me to pay. I'm like, what you mean? She's like, I don't have any money. I'm like, I said, why the fuck did you ask me to come out? And then she started laughing. I said, don't do that. I said, don't ever do that again. I paid and then, you know, took her home, didn't talk to her no more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a gentleman. I pride myself on.
I mean, look, when a woman asks you out, then there has to be a discussion about it. You can't ask somebody out. You don't know what my plans are, what I'm trying to do with my money. You can't just assume that the money's there all the time because I'm a man and just think, no, that's wrong. I'm talking about when a man, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the man asking the girl out. And if he is, then he's the one that's going to pay. You know, that's why that woman, when she said that was it. Now, if she's talking about a man that's saying, hey, we married, we got kids. I'm working at so-and-so company and I'm making $85,000 a year. And that's not enough for us to pay the mortgage, pay for the kids, you know, school, pay for them to get whatever they need, pay light, gas, water, car, no insurance. By the time we do all that, that's going to wipe my check completely out. Because houses are expensive right now. So you talking about a $3,500 mortgage sometimes, $4,000 mortgage. So he only making $7,000 a month before taxes. After tax, he only bring home about $1,500. So if he paid a mortgage alone and a couple of other utilities, he broke.
Yeah.
So that woman, if that woman say I ain't paying for a damn thing, that's a selfish broad that doesn't really want to help her husband. But if she say, baby, okay, I got it. You know, I'm gonna pay. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna split the mortgage with you. I give you $1,750 on the mortgage, but you pay the rest. Okay, we can, you know, or whatever y'all talk about, whatever y'all negotiate, right? That's different. As the man, I'm gonna pay more anyway. That's just how I am. I'm just like that. I'm just, even when there were years where I was working and I'd be off a contract for 3 months, and at the end of the year, my woman made more than me. But I paid all the damn bills. I paid most of the bills. Like when I was with her, and before we had my son, I was paying the whole damn rent. She wasn't paying nothing. She paid. Well, I ain't gonna say she didn't pay nothing. She didn't pay nothing on rent. She paid the rest of. She paid other stuff, but I was paid that and paid it like the power bill. So I paid the power bill and the rent.
But y'all,
Even though she was that year, she probably made more than me that year because I was out of work 3 months. So, stuff like that.
But this is like my generation, the millennials. We are paying the price of marrying late. This is what happens when you marry late. When you marry early, you build a life together. When you marry late, then there's some expectations and there's some baggage that you that you have to deal with. So this is why I keep saying that people need to marry early. How much sex is how much sex can you really have to where you don't want to get married? I don't get it. Look, I'm just like the next guy. I like a good looking woman. I like
Hold on. That's a good question. That's a very good question. When it comes to sex, this is what I really believe. I believe unless we deal with pornography in Western culture, we'll never fix marriage.
I don't know if it's pornography.
I think pornography is if you look at the size of pornography, I think it's the silent killer, bro. It can't. How many men are addicted to pornography?
Pornography is a recent epidemic. I'm probably like in the last 10 years.
Where you get that from?
When I was in college, in like from like 05 to 2011, like the porn talk wasn't a thing. Like,
well, hold on. So I was in college in the late 90s, early 2000s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sex. When we talk about porn, we talk about soft porn.
Mm-hmm.
In my generation, it was King magazine. It was Smooth magazine. Where
King wasn't soft porn. That was just
is soft porn.
It was soft porn. Soft porn's like Playboy.
No, that is Playboy. You seeing butt boot ass naked women. That's
when you talking about hard porn.
Different. When I say hard, when you say soft, I'm talking about some people call Victoria's Secret soft. So when I say soft, I'm talking about that classification where you got women in there and you can see they naked ass, but they got a thong on, or you can see, their breasts, but they got just enough to cover the. That's what you saw in King magazine. You saw that, and what it did. Let's follow how the mind works. Not okay. This is this website where they watching people having sex. I'm talking about how does the mind work when you consume an image of Katoy from I Like the Way You Move. They had she was in there a bunch of times, or Buffy the Body, or Melissa Ford. You got all these articles of these women, and dudes would consume these like this stuff because I did, right? You watch this stuff and it gets sucked into your brain that this is the type of woman, this is the ultimate woman, this is what I want, right? Then you got that going. Not to mention a lot of dudes were consuming it back then, but now it's even larger. What I'm telling you is the sexualization of our society, not just the hard porn, hardcore Pornhub. I'm talking about just the sexualization of our society and what a man could see sexually has spiked. And with that spike, there has been a precipitous drop in marriage culture and rates in our society because of the readily available sex at just at the flick of a wrist. You can see anything you want sexually. You can cut a television on what you see sexually. Those things matter. When a man, you go back to the 1800s, what could you see? You had to go to a brothel to see anything. Other than that, you didn't see nothing. You had to literally marry a woman to get some ass. You could not go, and then you go all the way through the 1950s. That's what it was like. And then all of a sudden, the sexual revolution happens. That is a problem. So you start seeing sex being and we still get married, but it was starting to drop. 70s, starting to drop. When they had that show Julia with a Diane Carroll, single mom, folks was upset because they had never seen nothing like that. It was only 20% of black kids being born out of wedlock back in the early 70s, right? As society went on, that younger generation saw Julia. That younger generation saw these shows. They grew up, oh, I'm being tied down with a man. I don't want. You remember that ABC special with those young girls talking about they don't want a husband. They don't want to marry fathers of their kids, right? So you got that generation. They grew up. Those were baby boomers, and yeah, those were pretty much baby boomers talking like that. So by the time you get to my generation, Generation X, they was raised by those women. Then you got the millennials. Then you got, Generation Z.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to them, it's all the way screwed up. But I think sex and the sexualization of our culture and the has a lot to do with what, because a man's gonna do what he has to do to get sex. What do I have to do now to get it? If I go, I'm gonna give you a good example. Go get on Instagram, start a new account, and just scroll. You're gonna start seeing white girls, Asian girl, everybody, Hispanic, everybody showing their ass. Everybody. All the women, not just black women, right? And as you scroll down, you're gonna see that. And it's a competition with these women to see who got the fattest ass, who can get the most likes on a post, so they start doing thirst trap pictures. And this thing, it's a men and women don't understand. You really messing yourself up. You're making it harder to find a husband because he's gonna, now his eyes have consumed. We talk about the three gates. You know the three gates, right? The eye gate, the ear gate, and I forget the other one, right? But and I think it's in the book of James, right? And those things that come in, the lust of the flesh. Lust of the flesh is a big, big part of it. And I think that pornography, not just hardcore, softcore, whatever you want to talk, or just sexualization of our society, our culture, the sexual marketplace has changed. What it takes to get a woman in the bed now is not what it took to get a woman in the bed in the 1940s. She worried about her reputation in the 40s. She's worried about how she looks. She's worried about what her father thinks. In 2026, she ain't worried about none of that. She's like, I want to see what that dick do. That's how she talking to you like that. So now it's when you have women that have cheapened what's between their legs. They cheapened it with women's liberation, with the 60s. That cheapened what a woman has. She thinks she is liberated by having sex. She thinks that men love it. Like Candace Owens talked about, like, okay, bet. Ain't got to marry you. Okay, bet. Ain't got to do this. You going to work and pay all the, okay, bet. But you still going to give me that ass. You still going to give me some head. Okay, bet. I'm with it. I ain't got to give you no commitment. Now you talking about marriage? For what? For what? What do I need to commit for? I can get the ass.
What do men get married for?
I think number one, and this is now we talking about when you have a biblical worldview, you thinking legacy. Getting marriages just only makes sense, right? When you have a biblical worldview, it makes sense because if you're thinking, the Bible says a righteous man leaveth inheritance for his children's children, right? So
yeah.
You understand legacy, you understand generational. You think that way. You think long term, right? When a man's single and he think about that, he don't have a biblical worldview.
Well, hold on now. You can have a child and not get married.
Yeah, but let's put it like this: how are you building generational wealth on child support? Just think about it. It doesn't help you to have a child outside of wedlock as a man. It hurts you.
It's not economically efficient, but it can be done.
It can be done. I'm not saying it's impossible. It can be, but the most optimal way is what? Being a father, raising your kid in
through a family, through a nuclear family.
Exactly. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you want to instill certain values, you don't probably want to see your child every other week and think you're gonna be a good dad and be able to teach them things about being a man, or teach them. You're not gonna be able to teach them because you gone. You not. She don't see you but every couple of weeks. And so what I'm saying is, as a man getting married, number one, you getting your children raised a certain way. You're able to have access to your kids. Getting married, also, you live longer. That's another benefit of it. So I'm talking about benefits, but also it's companionship. Being with somebody that's gonna be with you to the day you die. Somebody that understands you, that you're gonna be able to go with and be with no matter what. No matter what happens, y'all ride or die. Like,
Okay.
and when you've chosen the right person, that's what it is. Right? You can go sleep under a bridge. She right there with you if it come down to it.
And that's what, because like for me in my mind, and I've learned I can't use myself as the representative sample, but in my mind, I'm like I want to get married for companionship because it's harder to do life alone, even as a man. You know, as resourceful as I am. Some booger wolf hit me on the freeway yesterday, and I had nobody. Like I needed to change my tire, but I left my tools at the crib. So there was nobody I could call to come pick me up, take me to the crib, and bring me back to the car so I could change the tire. And I was just like, damn, man, I need to get married. You know what I'm saying? So there's marriage is more than sex. That's what I'm trying to get at. So I mean, I don't know like how how sex can really, or maybe it's just my mentality. Maybe it's just my mentality, but you know, I don't know how sex can really just deter somebody from marriage unless they don't really have perspective on the purpose of marriage. Because the purpose of marriage is companionship, and the purpose of sex is not primarily for childbirth; it's for bonding. So I mean, I don't know. That's just how I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tripping, but you know, for me, I think that one of the biggest deterrents for marriage is college.
Yeah, but I mean that's what the Frankfurt School talked about. That's what these people literally said they wanted to destroy Western civilization, and they knew with the, was it Gramsci and Marx, was it Gramsci, Antonio Gramsci, cultural Marxists? That's what they want. They want to destroy marriage, and they want to destroy what they knew that undergirded, or they felt like that undergirded capitalism was a man in his greedy ways and his desire to provide for his family. So let's remove him from his family. And that's what they did.
Well, I mean, you can't. I don't know. I think if like if we ask in the chat like how many guys in the chat want to get married, you know, then you ask like that, you know, it's like we'll see like really what's up because you know some niggas be like, oh, I'll never get married, and you know I'm like, then why are you bitching about women if you like if you don't want to get married, why are you bitching about women? Go to the strip club or go, you know, go to the red light district in your nearest big city. You know what I'm saying? But you know, for the women, you know, the women see they talk like they don't want to get married neither. So it's like this whole mentality has been weaponized to destroy, like you said, destroy patriarchy, destroy our way of life, destroy our Christian ethos.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
so no, so but and what I'm saying is like all those social engineers, they can't stop me from getting married. They can't stop me from desiring to get married. So, you
yeah, but
know,
this is the thing. You have a biblical worldview, so you quote scripture, you try to live by it. So that's gonna be a defense against the pro. Plus, you're aware of the Frankfurt School. You're aware of that type of. You understand when I say this stuff, what I'm talking about. So it's different than somebody that just thinks it's just a dating video, right? If you just listen to some guy telling you, trying to deter you from getting married, you know what I'm saying? your defense is gonna go off. You're gonna start saying, man, that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Something about that is not right. Right? If you sit and listen to guys just ragging on women the whole damn video, that's all they do is rag on black women all day, every day. Something about that, yeah, wait a minute, you still got to choose a wife from this pool. At the end of the day, is that what it is? Some people don't think like that.
That's why I'm so tired of dating videos, because all it is just negativity, just bashing women or women bashing men, and it's like y'all are gonna get old and die alone. And I see old people that are alone, and it's not a pretty sight. I'm gonna tell you like this, like it's not hard to predict the future at all. It really isn't. And as a father is supposed to tell their children what the future holds. If they do A or if they do B. I kind of peeped that up, a couple years ago. And if you really just look at life is very cyclical and very predictable. There are going to be a lot of people that are old, crazy, and lonely. The mental health industry is going to be booming in the next 15 years, because there's going to be so many 50-year-old lonely women, and there's going to be a lot of men that just deleted themselves. It's going to be bad. Like, and what you were talking about, the fall of these empires and civilizations, that's where we're headed. There has to be like a drastic turnaround, like in the next 3 years. I don't know. There has to be a mass awakening to what's going on. Like, people just they're gonna have to be shooken up, because we are headed towards destruction. Like, society cannot persist like this.
Yeah, I see that. But I mean, therein the destruction, if we're trying to destroy something, that's the best way to do it. And a lot of people aren't aware that that's how you destroy it. So they're willful idiots, right? They're you know what I'm saying? They're willful pawns on the chessboard to destroy something. If I want to destroy something, I'm not going to tell you that I want to destroy it. I'm just going to get you to not get married. I'm going to get you to go and have a sex change operation as a teenager. I got you now. You could turn 45, 50 years old and want to commit suicide because you done figured out that was stupid, but it's too late. I got you. Or I want you to be a raving feminist and hate the patriarchy until you 40 years old and can't have no kids. Now you realize the error in your ways, but it's too late.
It's too late. You ruin your life.
That's what I'm saying. This is what they do. They do these things, and so they're getting people. It's so many different avenues. I can go down a red pill ideology. Don't get married. Don't have kids. I can go down feminism. Don't get married. Don't have kids.
Same thing.
Obviously, you ain't getting married and having kids, right? So, I mean, when you go down all these avenues, all these different ways, opportunities of destruction, the narrow down the middle is get married, have kids, don't be out there hoeing, stay at home, be a father. It's boring. It's a challenge. I ain't gonna say it's boring. It's a challenge, right? Because you get older, you make more money. Ass becomes very easy to get when you get in your 40s and 50s. It just does.
Man, ass was always easy to get.
Well, it not all. No, when you a teenager.
I'm talking about when
you a broke teenager at 20 years old, the type of ass you can get. Let's put it like that.
Hey, man.
But as you get older and you got more money and you got more success, more experience, you're not as impressed with beauty as you are when you're 22 years old.
Hey, when I was 20 years old, living check to check, those were some of the greatest days of my life.
Listen, I'm not saying I ain't saying it. Look, every guy, when you listen to a lot of these guys that's in sales, quote unquote, listen, that's the number one thing they talk about is they can't get no woman, they can't get this. Then when they get older, they get bitter because they couldn't get them when they was 20. So now they mad. Whereas the guys like, yeah, I played ball, I got women. But what I'm saying is, even now, as I'm older, my confidence is way higher than it was when I was 22, 23. Experience brings on confidence, bro. It does. And when you talk to a young, beautiful 24, 25-year-old girl and you 40 years old, right? You ain't intimidated. You might have been intimidated at 22. But when you 40, you done been here before. It was this bad chick I was talking to. She looked like her. She reminded me of her. Eventually, you get to a point, I don't give a damn how you look. And she can pick up on it. And it just gets easier. I noticed that as I've gotten older. When I was younger, when I was like, for example, 9th grade, I ain't have no damn confidence. I was game goofy. I ain't know nothing. I lacked confidence. I was shy. I would say stupid stuff. And the girls picked up. He's shy. He nervous. They picked up on it. Then you get older. You gotta start going out. Start getting a little swagger to yourself, a little confidence. But you still lack confidence because you're still young. You don't know. Then all of a sudden you get about 34, 35, and you just hit a stride where I just don't give a damn. You stop caring because you care about, you got other things going on in life. You're trying to build something. You got a business. So you're looking at this little frivolous, this little stupid idea that this young girl has, and now you're starting to realize how stupid she really is, and you think, oh, she's immature. Not necessarily stupid. You immature and inexperienced. I don't care what you look like. But you don't think like that at 22 years old. Most guys don't. Some do, but most men don't. But I don't care. Most men, by the time you get 35, 40 years old, you see it. It's just it just clicks. This is why a lot of older men go get younger girls. A lot of them come with their wallets out, and I'm not even counting them niggas there. You don't count if you're pulling your wallet out. I ain't talking to you, right? You a trick, so I'm not talking to you. But the guys that you see that are younger, that go get these young girls and they date them, they want the girls. I mean, she crazy about them. She want to marry them. They date. They see in a serious relationship. Usually, that's the guy that's older, that's been around, travel. He's seen some. He's just not enamored with her beauty or her whatever, right? That was me. When I got older, I just stopped caring. And I noticed I go in a spot by my damn self. I would never go to a club by myself. I used to be nervous, right? I don't want to go to a club by myself. I walk up in that bitch by myself, sit at the bar, get a drink, speak to people, mind my damn business. When I got older. When you're younger, you worry about fights, who in there, because you that's how young people are. But when you get older, you like, man, I go by my damn self. I go to a bar by myself. I do it now. I go sit somewhere at a place. It could be blown. I'm walking in that bitch, sitting at the bar. Hey, how you doing? Let me give me a Corona. I just don't care. Women pick up on that shit, bro. They watch it. That nigga don't care. He's sitting at the bar by himself. He ain't staring at every ass walk by. He's just chilling. That's when it gets very easy. At least it has for me. When I was, when I was single, that was the easiest when I stopped caring. The sooner you can get to where you don't care, the easier it gets. Some people get there at 20 years old. Some people get there at 40.
Well, the point is to find a woman to spend your life with, not a woman to have sex with. Like that's the point.
I agree.
And finding a woman. I went to Cava or whatever the hell they call it yesterday. There was so many women in there. I was just like, what the hell? Like, why I ain't never seen this place before? Like they were just coming in and out, just waiting for a nigga to talk to. I mean, just waiting for somebody to talk to him.
And you ain't mop up?
Nah, I wasn't. I wasn't worried about that. Like I was there because, like I said, I got hit. So, my tire exploded. So I was trying to get the tow truck and coordinate all that. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't too much worried about that. But what I'm saying is to just go up to one of those women and just get them. I mean, it's all I had to do was say, "Hey, hello, how are you?" Let's sit down with me for a sec. It's so easy to talk to women on a superficial level, but the point is to get the one that you can spend your life with, that you can actually connect with.
And that's hard to do, create out of thin air, just walking up to a woman and creating something real. You know what I'm saying? That's time, that's repetition, consistency, confiding in each other, phone calls, arguments. Because if you really gonna get to that point, you're gonna have an argument about something.
And that's why you're supposed to start when you're young. So all these niggas, if you're a young man in the chat, stop listening to Red Pill. Find you a woman and get married.
Find you a woman. I agree. Go out there and get in the streets and just get out there and get and learn. I think it's terrible when I see men that don't want to learn, that don't want to. Young men, 19 years old. You talking about you, like, bro, you ain't been through nothing. You just got out of high school 8 months ago. You just graduated high school. You don't know nothing. So why you got this hatred and resentment of women already? Because you done listen to some guy. And this is the problem. This is where I disagree with guys. A lot of these older, bitter men, they don't tell you. Just like that video you showed me with Clifton Powell.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about him was he was so emotional. And the dude ain't really say nothing that bad to where he was, but he took it, hit dogs holler. That tell me right there, he done been on some bullshit. He done been out there and been on some bullshit. And you just, a lot of time when dudes bring stuff up, I tell you, yeah, I did this, I did that. Go ahead and tell it. Tell the truth. Yeah, I messed up, man. I was out there, man. I did this. I messed over a good woman. I messed over a couple. I made mistakes that loved my dirty draws, that would have went to hell and back for me. And I just was not ready. I was young and immature. I was kept thinking about the other women I could get. So I had this quality one, beautiful, everything I want. When I first got with her, I was crazy about her. But then I got tired of her, and I was worried about what I could get. What else could I get?
You're like Kanye. You can have you a good girl, but still be addicted to them hood rats.
You just get, when you young like that, and you just in the prime of your physical prime, I'm at Tuskegee University. I'm on a basketball team. It's a HBCU, bro. Top 5, top 3 HBCU. The caliber of women that was on that campus was crazy. I'm just telling you. And you don't know no better that you thinking, oh, I'm going to have this type of option all my life. No, you're not. That is the most women you're going to be around is on a college campus. Those are your best years. But you don't know that. You think, no, I'm going to graduate and I'm going to get out here and I'm going to have this and I'm going to have, it ain't going to ever be like that.
At all. It's harder.
And they wide open. They ain't got no money yet. They broke. They wide open.
Yeah.
They kick it. They want you. They want to holler. Ain't no, okay, I'm going to talk to an older guy. In high school, you might see girls, I'm going to talk to an older guy. College girls, most of them trying to talk to a nigga on the campus.
Yeah.
So all you had to do was just pick which one you wanted. That's really what I could have did. I'm not trying to brag. That I could have just, I want her. Out of the ones that wanted me. I ain't saying every girl wanted me in college, but what I'm saying is out of the many women that I dated that really was good quality, bad women, I'm talking about in the church, love God, leading people to Christ. I'm talking about them type of women. That's what I had. And I was even I'm gonna tell you something. One of them, I graduated college. She was still in my city. She was working at this place. And I mean, just cold. But she got married, and I thought years later, what the hell was I thinking? But I knew I was not prepared. I knew she wanted to be a wife, and she wanted to get married, and she wanted to marry this white boy. A white boy married her, and then he cheated on her, and she got divorced. She's still bad, but I'm married now, so I can't holler at her. But I'm just saying, like, she was. And I remember thinking to myself, like, what in the hell was I thinking? And my homeboy asked me years later, bro, she was crazy about you. Let me tell you, she was engaged to the white boy. This is right hand to God. We was sitting at the, I forget, we was sitting at these people's house after church one Sunday. We sitting out there talking. Part of me, I was jealous. I did not want her to get married. But I didn't want to marry. I wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be with her and talk to her. I would have kicked it. But when she got engaged, I couldn't stop that. So I was like, and I was talking to her and I said, what? I said, I got something I wish I could say to you, but I can't. She's like, what? I said, I can't say it. I say it. What do you want to say? She knew exactly what I wanted to say. I said, I can't. I don't want to, you know. I said, I can't be selfish. She got mad. I need you to say what you need to. I really think if I'd have told her that I was into her, she probably would have called that shit off. That's how much she liked me. I ain't trying to brag. I'm just saying that's how it was. She probably would have took me serious, but I knew if I'd have did that, I was gonna have to wife her. If I'd have did that, because this dude was pretty much had proposed, and I wasn't ready to do it. Wasn't ready. You know, so that's why I'm not this bitter guy, man. Because I'm not bitter about women. Because I'm like, bro,
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
You know,
I'm gonna say it like this: the fact that you married now, that's God's grace.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it like, oh, you're just a horrible person. But one thing people gotta understand is that opportunities don't just come, just every day. They don't just come knocking on your door every day. And you do have a window to act on an opportunity. And some people miss their window because they say stuff like, well, if it's for me, then nobody's gonna take it.
no,
That's
you
not
make it
true.
happen. You make it happen. No, that's one thing I'm
Yeah.
very, very, especially as a man, you can't be out here sitting out here like, well, God got to show me. Bro, she there, she like you, you like her. She checks off the boxes. What you gonna do? Right? That whole God got to show. I hate that. I can't stand it because a lot of it is they try to mystify stuff that don't need to be mystified.
It's just fear and laziness.
Yeah, just go ahead and make this decision. It's not going, yes, she's not going to be perfect. Y'all might have disagreements at times. Y'all might not, it won't be perfect. And that's the thing you have to realize. You wait for perfection. People want perfection so much. And it's like, you ain't perfect. You're flawed. I can see flaws in a lot of these red pill. I can see them so fast. No disrespect to Azrael. I be picking on him, right? That's my boy though. But just saying, I be messing. Man, just go overseas. Like a lot of these dudes, like you sent me that clip. Remember that clip you sent me? This dude went to Dominican Republic and
Had the
bragged on
perfect
this
girl.
woman.
Had
I
the
had the
perfect
perfect
girl.
woman, man. She threw my birthday. She took care of me sexually. She didn't like nigga, and you ain't wife her. You just went over there to get your smut on. You just want to bust a nut. You're the problem. You ain't gotta go overseas because you're not getting the perfect woman. You the problem. You just want some sex. That's the guys got to be honest with themselves. Stop whining. Man, I can't find no wife. You don't want a wife. You want sex.
If you just want some sex, go get an escort. Do that instead of poisoning the minds of all these young men out here.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the thing. A lot of dudes are doing that. And rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I think that's what he did. A lot of what he did was that to me. I think a lot of ways. When I saw a video of a woman, did I show you that video? I think I sent it to you, where he was talking to the lady.
Oh yeah. You sent me that.
Got a divorce because her husband cheated on her.
Yeah, you sent me that.
He dragged the woman for getting a divorce for getting cheated on. Like, come on, man. If a man steps out on a woman and betrays the trust and breaks the covenant of that marriage, you break that. He has broken a covenant that he made with her and God. That's what you've done. Let's tell it like it is, bro. You made a vow before God. You made a covenant and you broke the covenant. So you can't blame that woman if she not. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to work to reconcile, but if she leaves, I think Kevin was out of order for that. So was she supposed to just stay just because he cheated? I don't agree with that.
I look at it two ways. First way is to treat others the way you want to be treated. Which is they say that's the greatest commandment. The other way I look at it is like, I'm a man. a man, getting some side tail, like, I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong, but I mean, I don't know, man, because well, I mean, we're talking about patriarchy. I'm not. I don't condemn polygyny or polygamy, however they want to say it. But if you have a relationship with a woman and she's trusting you to not do something, I think that it's proper that y'all need to establish, the parameters of, that dynamic that y'all have. And set boundaries. You're like, okay, we're not gonna cross this boundary. We're not gonna cross that boundary. But in a vacuum, I don't I don't see it the way like, oh, he cheated. I'm like, yeah, he did, but I don't know. But I'm not condoning it, but I'm just saying like, if a woman cheats, that's different. That's different, and you might not agree, but it's different.
No,
But
I think it is different when a woman cheats, but I don't know. I just, man, what is this? This is what full report is. Need transaction history up to date. Lord, man. Bank statement I will submit provided, but Lord have mercy. All right, I gotta submit some stuff, but I just don't think when you break a covenant, man, you just take it for granted that people just gonna stay.
nah, I agree.
If you get married to a woman, you get married to a woman. The way you are as a man, you gonna be God this, God that. I know you are, right? You break a covenant, the level of trust that woman gonna probably have with you, cause of that. If you step out, she gonna be probably blindsided. Emotionally telling a woman, oh, it's okay, just get over it. Or, you shouldn't, or condemning her for the pain and hurt that it causes and saying that it won't, that she's supposed to just, I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
Nobody's place to tell somebody to stay in a situation where they done had their heart broken and somebody done betrayed their trust and stepped out of a marriage. I can't, because what does that mean? Do you got a baby? So she's supposed to just, you see what I'm saying? Did you bring her a disease? What is the severity of the situation? Right? Stepping out on a woman one time and nothing happened, you just did it, and then she found out. You still out of order. Is she? I don't believe in just expecting someone to stay in a situation because that's dysfunction. So, and the covenant has been broken. So, can you reconcile? Yes. Should you? Yeah, you should. If she leaves, she's well within her rights to do that. And that's all I'm saying. And
I
so
agree.
I didn't think he was right to tell that woman to try to condemn it. Well, see, you ended the marriage. Because sometimes it's like, well, damn. So stay in a dysfunctional relationship. Because obviously he wasn't satisfied for whatever reason. I ain't saying she was perfect. And he left. That's not good.
Kevin Samuels didn't give good advice. The only value he had is that he humbled a lot of delusional women. That's the only value he had, but he wasn't a godly man. He didn't give good advice. I didn't like that he used to tear down women, like he used to destroy them and not even try to like build them back up. He left them with no hope. I didn't like that. I didn't think that was right.
I mean, yeah, he was a very, very jaded guy. He was talking like it's over. Like, how old are you? It's over. Like,
Yeah, at
you're
20, at
30,
28.
you're done.
Yeah, at 30. Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. But I don't know. Women signed up for that torture, so that's on them.
I don't see no reason why they should have even been calling. I don't think it was a good thing to be even calling that guy because I don't think he was. I just didn't see no reason to do that. Like, why are you calling him for advice? Just stay. I just didn't get it. That part I didn't get.
I think that some people have some kind of guilty pleasure with being chastised or being held accountable. I don't know. But there's a lot of times where people would tell me that they did something, and I'm like, why did you tell anybody that you did that? I just had to tell somebody. I'm like, why? And then it's like, why tell me of all people? So I don't know. Maybe they knew that I was gonna tell them what they needed to hear. I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I never understood that, like how people was telling folks. People would call and say, "Yeah, Kevin, I'm in this," and he'd go up there and tear them. He would tear people to pieces, and it was unhealthy. It was, and he shouldn't have done that. I felt like at the end of the day, I think it wasn't constructive. But these women, they put themselves in these situations because I'd be damned if I'd have called. I wouldn't have called his ass. I just wouldn't have had nothing to say to him.
No.
So, but hey, it is what it is, bro. It really is, man. Anyway, I'm about to head out, man. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thanks for sending me the link, man. Shit, I gotta clock in a couple of hours, so
Get your rest, bro.
yeah. All right, man. I'll let you.
All right,
Yep.